Well, as we get started this year, talking about the 2026 offering of the Oklahoma Youth Expo, as we do every year, obviously this has been a remarkable hog show. It's turned into a remarkable event all across the country, and it's so looked at, idolized, and it's been trying to copy multiple times over and over, and yet at the same time it stands alone, I feel like, in itself. And this year's event, and as you watch through the entire offering, I feel like that you're going to be able to follow along with a few of the things that Brock and I have to say, the comments that we have, and hopefully you can see and not only see but appreciate the value of differences, the diversity throughout the sale, the multiple of breeds, and what all they have to offer. So with that, I'll turn it over to Brock Herron, let him share a word or two, and then we'll get right into the offering.
Yeah, we appreciate you, your interest, and you tuning into this. And as Todd mentioned, there is a great deal of diversity scattered throughout this entire lineup. I feel like this is one of those years, really anything that you're drawn to, anything you feel like you need, it is in this set of pigs. I think if you stay open-minded and you go through here, study the pedigrees, study what they look like visually, and bid to own them, I think you'll get along really well. Time after time, these gilts go home and make an impact. And it's not always the first gilt that sells. Sometimes it's the very last ones, and many of those in between. I think if you feel like there's one for you, you just need to go out there and get her. This is lot one, the Supreme Champion Commercial Gilt, shown by McKenna Oliver. She's a dog-eat-dog, wide-awake from Decker Show Pigs. The Oklahoma Youth Expo Gilt Show is one of those shows that's really in a category all on its own. It's really unique in terms of the numbers that come, the quality that come, but animals like this really position it in another stratosphere. These don't come around very often. Those of us in the business are so quick to find ones like these when we find them, because it's very rare that we do. They don't show up very often, and even the folks that just come here to the Oklahoma Youth Expo and look at a set of crossbred gilts one time a year find gilts like this. This one is just absolutely next level in every way. I feel like this one can challenge records in terms of sales, and one of the things that I like that comes with the OYE is the gilt sale. We've mentioned this several times today. The opportunity and the time to buy stuff is when it's for sale, and this gilt is here for sale.
You know, Brock, I love the description and everything that you talked about there in terms of the highlight of the entire event and the sale and all. And when we talk about this one here, there's no sense in either one of us grabbing the mic and trying to describe her. I think it would be best if you just played the roll back and you listened to Will Hilty. He was real complimentary. It was real basic. He said this is the best one I've ever seen, and I think so. You study this one. I don't know what you change about them. I don't know what your females look like. I do know that we talked about gilts throughout the sale that have unique parts and pieces. You breed them right. When you do so, this is what you're trying to make. This is what you want them to look like. This is what you want them to exemplify. Ladies and gentlemen, that's your champion of this year's sale. She's the one that's going to kick it off on Tuesday night. That is the most remarkable one. We talk about them, all of them that's been memorable over years. That one right there will be memorable for a long, long time.
This is lot two. She's the Reserve Supreme Commercial Gilt, shown by Avery Throckmorton. This gilt is a mainline wide awake from Halfin Show Pigs, and this is I feel like this is one of the better sets of crossbred gilts we've had here, and maybe in a couple years. And this gilt was the Reserve Gilt overall, and without a doubt, one of the more memorable gilts I feel like that we'll run through here. This gilt's ability to just be so beautiful from the side with that kind of dimension, that kind of muscularity is so hard to do, and it's so rare. And on top of that, she has got the biggest, shaggiest legs you will ever find, and a littermate brother at Halfin's he calls Bloodline. And this is another one sired by Mainline, and many people have asked me this time what he works on, what he does well. I think this one represents that really, really well in terms of bone, shape, and muscularity. Really neat one here in lot two.
You know, Brock, ever since the show was over, we've been getting texts and phone calls, and everybody says, hey, what's those first ones all going to bring? What are they going to cost and all? And I don't know what to say. I mean, I don't know what the answer is. I'm going to tell you they're going to be a lot. But it's going to find out real quick come Tuesday night is who's serious about making big moves in the business. And I think this one has to be one that you consider. Obviously, it sounds stupid for me to say anything different being the Reserve Grand. But when you really study one and you break them down, when they're built that way and their joints lay in them and set in them the way that this one does, man, that's pretty remarkable. I mean, I don't have a clue. I said, I told 2 or 3 people, I have no idea what these things need to be bred to. Just exciting to see whoever owns them and what they made them to, because these next 2 or so that we're talking as we speak right now, these things are going to be memorable today. They're going to be memorable years from now. And we're going to refer to the 2026 OYE as being one I feel like that has generating potential long term. Brock said it best there when he described this one. This is the best set of dart crosses, and we're going to talk about the lights here in a minute, but the very best set of dart crosses we've had here in the last 3 to 5 years, in my opinion. We've always had an awesome sale. We've always had awesome gilts, but there is 2 true generators. This one right here, she has to exemplify that. She has all the parts and pieces. I think a very, very good Reserve Grand at this year's event.
This is Lot 3, shown by Miley Coleman. This gilt is a Kronos Afterthought raised by Plett Livestock.
Yeah, we get pumped up and excited to talk about individuals, and again, it don't take long for those of you that had the chance to see this. This one, I don't think that I have to say too much. I tell you to watch your screen, look at how this one was put together, how it was made. And the man behind doing it. And we've got one here I think's extra special. Obviously, anytime that they can carry the title away from the Oklahoma Youth Expo like this one can, I think that's a mouthful in itself. I don't need to sit here and describe that one to you. I would just tell you to look at it. She's one of the very elite spotted females I think that you'll ever see. I've not heard anything but great praises about her littermate brother there, that premium blend. For those other people that has made the trip and seen him, they all leave there. Doesn't matter what breeder they are, what breed they raise, or anything else. There's nothing but high praise, and I can see why. When you build them like this, you build them with that stoutness, that squareness, that moderation. They can win pig shows. That's exactly what this one here did. She will always be the champion of the 2026 Oklahoma Youth Expo, and rightfully so. That one will be memorable.
This is Lot 4. She was the Reserve Supreme Purebred gilt, shown by Cannon Dickerson. This gilt is a Top Gun on a Viper sow raised by Goss Livestock.
Yeah, this here, the Reserve Champion gilt, there at this year's show. Again, we talk about those that are memorable, and this one will be quick to that list. And then the breed that she represents. Thought we had a tremendous Hampshire show up and down the line, and even with that being said, I think there's one that dominated that particular breed, and she does show and does so in quite fashion. Just study this one in terms of her build and mass, the proportionality, the width, the power that she has. Really good in terms of her feet and legs and the placement that she has. I don't know. She looks like the kind that can make herd boars. She'll definitely make Hampshire gilts. She's going to make the breed better. I don't know what all the thought here is or the mindset of what you want to do, but if you want to tie into one and play the game at the highest level, I'm going to tell you a 345 daughter is the way to do it. That's her daddy. This one puts it all together. Tremendous Hampshire gilt. It's awesome to have one like this be named the Reserve Champion of this year's show. a remarkable opportunity again, and this time and each year here at the Oklahoma Youth Expo, during the sale, we have the opportunity to bring somebody in, and we've been so fortunate in years past, and again this year, for someone to step forward to support the COBA show, and those of us around Oklahoma know how important that is. For all of us and for so many breeders, the way that we do that, and all of the people and that's put in the time and the effort and the work, and yet the notoriety behind it, and that doesn't come unnoticed. Number one, and it also comes at a high cost, and in saying that and doing that, we've had a donation gilt that comes to us from a firm, and each year, and the proceeds of that money goes right directly into COBA to help us pay for things, awards, and to support the kiddos and do the things that we do each and every year. This year, it's awesome that the Day family, Justin and his family, stepped forward and donated this particular gilt. I think you can see on screen, obviously, all of the positive attributes that she has. And I think many of you by now has probably seen the taglines and everything and the information leading up to her. At this time, thank them, thank everybody. We want to thank the Cobra breeders, thank the Day family. I'll turn it over to Justin. He can tell you more about the pedigree on the gilt and what she represents. But I know what the Cobra Association means to us. Brock, do you have anything you want to add to that?
Absolutely. Definitely want to thank Justin Day and family for bringing this gilt here and letting her go. And really, a donation of this caliber is pretty immense. That's a really, really nice gilt. She also has a littermate brother that'll be up here next week that'll show that sold at Halfin's farm sale there. That's really, really nice. He will be in the hunt. This is a gilt that has so much generating potential. I mean, the bottom side of her pedigree is absolutely stacked. I know I tried to buy several of those sows down through there, and they have been very meaningful for the Day family. And I really appreciate them bringing this gilt here out of the heart of what they would consider their herd. This gilt definitely has a lot of potential in terms of her genetics, but visually as stout and striking as anything.
Day Family Show Pigs is proud to offer the 2026 Cobra Foundation female. She is a mainline daylight in-game kingpin. Everybody's familiar with what mainline's doing right now, but what gets us excited about this female is her mother. Her mom was the reserve grand gilt at Tulsa in 23, a littermate to Modern Day, and the 4th overall gilt at Tulsa that year. She has raised the boars Awakening and Suit Up, as well as the reserve dark cross at Enid in 25.
This is lot 6 from Lainey Allen. She's a relentless roll call from Goss Livestock.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'd say don't really matter what we have to say. I'd say study the video of this one, and hopefully you was there and got to see her ringside in person to show, because this one walked through her division, and I mean literally did so, I think, in fashion. And this gilt obviously comes from the Goss crew, and not only had a dominating day again at this year's event and throughout this sale, but they do so because their females look like this, and it's one of the deals that it's concentrated on there. They build them that are moderate, they build them that are wide, they build them that look good, they build them that have shape and muscle. This one here just has all of the parts and pieces that I think is very, very unique. And we talk about them that still has days ahead. I guess you could, I think that was mentioned there in the ring when she was up on the hill the other day. You could still probably show this one a time or two if that's what you want to do. I think more importantly, you look at the long-term value of what this one can do for you in terms of building a herd, making you relative overnight. We've got lots and lots of good terms and all that we can use here. There's no sense in wasting them. All I'm going to do is just tell you, study one right there. You got a high opportunity there on Tuesday night on this one.
This is lot 7 from Madeline Gray. She's a hardball top shelf from Ohio Valley. I was really curious to get this paperwork today to find out what this gilt was out of as I watched her throughout the sale and kind of thought about what the potential that she has over the last few days. There are very few that can do what this gilt does. Her length of body and just beautiful look that she has from the side with that kind of bone and shag is really interesting, and it takes a lot of time and a lot of energy to get those things combined into one. And how many times do we say that one's really close? That one's really close. This is one of those that she's not really close. She's it. We hit the target right dead center bullseye with this one, and that is really hard to do. She's got a neat pedigree. If you're at the show, you remember this one. If you're here, you're going to go home and remember this one. This is one that I feel like is definitely a highlight within a lot of highlights.
Definitely big parts and pieces. Short lister, enormous. If you just need to know what one looks like that has enormous back shape and spread, this right here probably has as deep a ditch. We don't talk about that much anymore. She has an old school ditch in her back on top of everything. Great breeding piece right there.
This is lot 8, shown by Quinn Voss. This gilt is a woke roll call from Wilbur Genetics. This gilt is one that I feel like obviously just a tremendous show gilt, but those of us that remember this one's mom, she showed up here a few years ago, the roll call gilt that Wilbur raised. That gilt was just such a memorable one, and in her short career as a sow, she has generated them time after time, won all kinds of things. I feel like if you're looking for a light cross that will generate light crosses, that will generate winners, this one really needs to be on the forefront of your page.
No doubt, and it's the number of times that we say memorable throughout the entire day here. So many of these gilts that have unique parts and pieces, we always refer back to the memorable mother that they had, or something that we've seen sell as a little pig, or maybe a gilt, even here at the Oklahoma Youth Expo. This one come in, and she looks like one that demands to win and garnish your attention, and she does so because of that look, her height to shoulder, her elevation, her looseness and flexibility that she has. But this is one powerful individual right here in every attribute. You study her at the floor of her chest, study her in the center of her rib, look and study the length of about her hip. Everything about her is wide. Everything about her is correct. Most importantly, she does it in a very, very comfortable manner.
This is lot 9, the Champion Duroc gilt shown by Lexi Wilson. She's a Born This Way, Bury My Bones from Lindstrom Show Pigs.
Yeah, female to the highest degree. One that looks like a big ring show winner, and you can see that about her. I mean, tall-shouldered, good-looking, really extended ahead of her blade. Just reads and looks like a female out through the front side of her body, and then at the same time really long and square about her hip. We mentioned it on a few of the others that come through. I know the importance is not as high as many as it is others, but that's one that's got a very, very good underline. That needs to be noted, and I think so, particularly within this breed. So many times that might be overlooked, and many sometimes maybe even miss that before they come to the show. And you don't have to when you have one that sports hers. Still sports that kind of look and the kind that looks like she can go win a show. She did so here. That's your Champion Duroc. Study this one from the profile. That's why.
This is lot 10 from Jordan Warren. This gilt is a Pay Your Bills sneak peek from Graddert Show Pigs.
Yeah, this one beat them all there in the landrace show, and I think it's easy to see why, and it's just from a standpoint of the extra bone density, mass, and power that this one possesses. We talked about us that set up top there the other day. When you look down on the top of this one, she is as broad as about any breed of any animal that goes through, and she opens big in terms of her blade. She's really big and square about her pin width, puts her feet and legs down just tremendously square, very, very massive from every attribute. I think those of you that are looking at them, if you want to make a herd boar, if you want to make better land race, or do whatever you want to do with this one down the road, all I'm going to tell you, you're going to make very, very good white ones that are hairy and have the right feet and legs and right set to their hock. This one here, I think, has great, tremendous breeding value. She's the champion, rightfully so. This one hits the ring, hard to get around this time.
This is Lot 11. She was the champion Berkshire, shown by Ruger Heron. This is an Outlaw Top It Off from Wellman Livestock.
Yeah, very, very good high-end Berkshire gilt here that took home the honors of being named champion. And when you stand here where we are and you see one in terms of a silhouette that's built the way she is, in terms of her elevation and height to shoulder, still have an extension like she does ahead of her blade and the shape that she possesses, you can see why this one gets the crown this time. You just stand off. You love her in terms of her build, her soundness, flexibility. The Berkshire Show is one that's notoriety every year, day in and day out, and it's remarkable the number of Berkshires that have went on and generated for the breed and for others and winners day in and day out. I would say the Berkshire breed over the years has been as dominant as any. I think this year's offering is equally as good, if any, and hey, this is a great way to start it off right here with your champion.
Every year at the Oklahoma Youth Expo, we know the Berkshire is going to be a standout, and this year is no exception. I think this gilt is one that just does things really well in a big way. I really appreciate this gilt just as far as her size and her length. Her proportionality is so good. She has got a monstrous forearm and a great big rear leg. She represents Berkshires really well, but I think she is a standout here within her contemporaries here at the Oklahoma Youth Expo. This is Lot 12 from Hadley Davis. This is a champion Yorkshire gilt. She's a dream on a ride or die raised by MC3 Ward Show Pigs. She comes from a tremendous litter. She herself was champion at Coba. The mate brothers were also champion in reserve at Coba. And then the mother here is a litter mate to No Hesitations Dam.
Well, this one here, the gilt herself, I think, is remarkable, to be honest with you. But then on this other side of it, I'm going to tell you that the firm that she comes from, I'm as fond of them and their abilities and what they have done as some of anybody in the industry. I absolutely admire what they do and do so at the highest level with so many breeds. And they do so because they make pigs that's functional, that looks like this. This gilt is super good in terms of her footwork, her placement, her toe spread, the way that her blade lays in her. You just look at all of those things and still study her in terms of her length of hip, the squareness that she hits the ground. Hadley does an awesome job of not only having to show this one, but this is also one you don't have to show. She handles her head with a natural head carriage. She's clean about her pole. Excellent in terms of shape. I don't know how you make Yorkshire females much better than what that one is. Again, we're going to say it throughout the entire Yorkshire offering. Make the Yorkshire breed better. Make your crosses better. Many of you out there that has them thinks you got them good. Put you some females in white in there and be remarkable of what you can get done. Outstanding offering here this time. I think a great one to start with to represent the Yorkshire breed. Congratulations to the Wards.
This is Lot 13 from Emma Selvage. This gilt is a Head Start State and Facts raised by Selvage.
Yeah, I tell you what, the Selvage firm has another family done a tremendous job, and this one hit the ring there the other day, and man, I tell you what, it's easy to gravitate to them when they look like this. Very, very powerful. She's stout, really extended ahead of her blade. You love that about her. Tremendous in terms of shape and squareness about her back, and I think she does all of this in a very complimentary package of freshness. And I don't think that that's something that gets talked about so many times. And for me, that's why she won the Poland breed. Is she looks like her age, she looks like her weight, whatever you want to say in any of those regards. But she looks like her maturity is so right. She's heavy about her bones. She's big about her feet. Really extended up front. Still looks like a lady, but does so with tremendous power. The Poland show was very good. Lots of positive things to say about many of them. It's awesome to lead the Poland breed off with one that looks like this.
This is lot 14, shown by Kenda Beller. This gilt is a fix-em-up, perfect fit, raised by MC3 Ward Show Pigs. Some pedigree notes here. The mom would be a full sib to the gilt that won the entire show here just a few years ago. And I can tell you these fix-em-up projects, these Chesters are really good. As a mature boar, he is one of the best Chesters that you will find, and I'm not surprised these things are getting in the upper end of things here. This gilt as an individual, it's pretty clear why she won the show. She is a great-looking, big muscle, but smooth muscle kind of Chester gilt, really dimensional in the center part of her body. I like the set and slope she has to both ends of her skeleton. I think one that won the Chester breed visually, but then when you get into their paperwork, I think one that it's also a winner from that standpoint as well. Lot 15 is coming in now. This is the Champion Hereford gilt, shown by John Wyatt Piper. This gilt is a Versace, shown by John Wyatt Piper. This is the Champion gilt. Her littermate sister was reserve overall here in the Herefords. Shout out to those guys, raising their own and bringing them here and winning Champion and Reserve here at the Oklahoma Youth Expo. I definitely think that's something to be talked about and noted as a breeder, that both of those gilts came here and won something, so that should give you some confidence and some quality and depth within that litter. This gilt as an individual, when you look past all those things, is really muscular down the top side of her body, got such a dimensional rib design to her, and she gets out here and she's got a really athletic kind of hip and hind leg. I think one that brings good stoutness to her forearm and has a neat pedigree, a lined up pedigree that's probably ready for an outcross, whatever that may be in the Herefords, but I think one that could do a lot of positive things consistently here in lot 15. This is lot 16 from Chloe Kemp. She's a Woke W Nomad from Wellman Livestock.
Yeah, Brock, this is another one that's quite memorable from the other day, and for a few reasons. Memorable because of her build, the shape, the power, the muscularity that she had. Chloe, I said earlier, had a great day, and this is one that I think helped elevate that to another level. And just study one here just in terms of skeletal width, power, shape, and dimension about her back, and the amount of power she leaves you with. She's close to being out there on the edge, and I say that in a very good way. I think this is one that has some great generating potential about her in those regards. One thing that we'll add to in terms of her look and silhouette is one thing, but the way her tongue hangs out the side of her, any of you hog breeders that's been around a day or two know those good sows that hang their tongue out. Everybody's got a story about one at their house. Make your own story with this one if you own her.
The next gilt in is lot 17. She's from Ava Gilchrist. She's a mainline Jericho from Day Family Show Pigs, and This is one that I definitely feel like kind of positions herself in a unique category here at the Oklahoma Youth Expo. Obviously, a crossbred gilt that with some coloring a lot like a Berkshire classifier. This gilt was shown kind of on both sides of that throughout the year and was incredibly successful. She was an awesome baby pig that sold at the Halfin Show Pig sale there and did really, really well. But I think from a breeding standpoint is where this gilt could really become a highlight. There is without a doubt as much youthfulness and creativity packed in this particular gilt as anything that we'll find. Her color makes her that way. Her quality makes her that way. If you're somebody that wants to make show pigs better in general and really don't mind here in the Southwest to just color classifying them, I think this is one you need to get on your list. There's a lot of ways to go with this particular gilt. Her quality is as good as anything that we will find, and her potential is equal to that. This is lot 18 from Cambry Bryant. She's a Little Wayne, Buckle Up, My Intention from JD Show Pigs. This has been one of the gilts throughout the entire year that has been a standout to me. She's been grand multiple times. There's a really nice gilt there at Coba. I believe she won her class and was in the upper end of division. And when this gilt came through the ring the other day at the Oklahoma Youth Expo, that side view look had us all captivated. That kind of skull dimension, her bone, but this gilt's width to her rib and her muscle up top is incredibly impressive, and she's maintained that. She had that the other day. She has it right here now. I feel like these Little Waynes are going to make an impact. This is definitely one that represents that line really, really well. She looked like this as a baby, and she looks like this right now. I think this is one to get on your list.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I love that gilt there. You just said when she hit the ring the other day, she quickly caught attention, and they can do so when they have a head like that and a tail like that, and then everything else in between is stout and wide and stays in check. Man, that's hard to do sometimes, and I think this one does it, and does it to the highest degree in terms of width, but still keeps everything in check. That's definitely one that I think has some great value in days ahead.
This is lot 19 from Holden Winters. She's a one-way, right one timber from Tres Amigos. Last fall or last summer, there was a 35-liter that we saw several pigs come out of from Trace. This is a 35-liter gilt. I believe she led off one of their sales and was a tremendously high seller in one of those. But she's also a litter mate to Bean Dip at Upper Hand. This is one of those gilts that exudes that one-way look to me, just that kind of stoutness to her skull and forearm and front leg, but up on her toes and so athletic from behind. This is a gilt with tremendous spread and shape. That ditch to her back there is so impressive, and I feel like it's really natural, as I've seen a lot of these along the way. And the timber sow that'd be the grandma here is another strong selling point from Tres Amigos. This is lot 20 from Jace Clark. She's a hang tight, say it hero from 4W Livestock, one of the 3 littermate sisters that made the sale.
Yeah, again, it's going to sound repetitive, but I think the cool part we say there, I don't know how many times we've said hang tight already, but man, I tell you what, it tells you something. And then look at the litter, look at the depth of litter, look at the pig you got in front of you. Moderation to the highest degree, boldness, stoutness, squareness. Kid does all of that and does it in a level, perfect silhouette from the side. You love the natural hair carriage and all of those gilts. Man, there's power there. They read powerful about their skull. They're powerful in their tail. They're wide-eyed. They have all the basics to look like real generators. I think a tremendous litter. I don't know how you tell them apart. Maybe you sit in there and you buy them all 3, breed them all to a board and see how relevant you are next year.
This is lot 21 from Nicholas Armitage. This gilt is a Trust Me Titan from Jennings Show Pigs.
Yeah, it's been really fun to talk through this set of spot offering, and particularly, man, I'm going to tell you what, the spotted breed and the spotted fraternity and enthusiast has to be extremely excited about the quality there. And then I think as well, when you study the top two of these that landed up there at this year's event, we talk about memorables and all, use all the big words that you want to use. I think these definitely fit into that particular category. We don't have to tell and spend a lot of time talking about what Jennings has been able to do in the spotted breed, but you can understand and see why when they build them like this, in terms of her skeletal build, her height and elevation, the length and extra extension she has up front, the boldness and squareness that this one has in her chest. She is so round but yet clean about her rib. You like her length to hip, the mobility that she has. Jennings has won a lot of spot shows. I've been fortunate to be at a lot of the events that he has won. I've not got to tell him this yet, but I think this is absolute one of the very best ones that I have seen him put together, bar none. And I think that is a statement that would be cliche, and everybody could say, well, yeah, you're just saying that. I honestly believe it. I think this is a very, very power-packed female that is extremely good, extremely high quality, coming from a firm that has been absolutely dominant into a breed. I think that's a very, very special spotted female right there.
I do need to correct myself earlier on my sheet here. That breeder is Jennings Show Pigs and Heron Farms. This is lot 22 from Oakley Cooper. This gilt is a reach around on a top cut sow raised by Danner Livestock.
Yeah, this gilt here comes in and again, I mean, just extreme quality, and I think one that you can see it when you view this one on video, but more importantly, when you see this one in person. Her moderation of build and stoutness combined is almost next level. You love this one in terms of skull shape, power, width, and dimension. She has up high, down low, and underneath. She opens up extremely, extremely good, but then does it all and does it in a very, very comfortable package. You love this one in terms of her feet and legs. The Hampshire show was tremendously good, I thought, up and down the line. I think this one right here has tremendous breeding potential and value. She could be one that you could hear from down the road with progeny out of her. I think that's a very, very high-quality Hampshire female.
This is lot 23 from Garrison Todd. This gilt is a name brand raised by Byers Farms.
Yeah, this one here you can put on the fun list for me to talk about and to analyze. I mean, I think we got a true breeding hog here, and again, as we talked about so many times, power, width, dimension, overall look, design, openness, the way this one opens in her floor of her chest, her center body and roundness to her rib exemplifies high end, high quality. The Duroc breed itself here at the Oklahoma Youth Expo has just been noted of power and what it takes to be successful. And the firm that this one comes from is right in the mix of it every year. This one here, I think, is out of a bore right now that I think is arguably as consistent a generator as there is in the breed. This thing reads to be generating potential. Study her skull, study her shape to her midrib, study her outer hip, study her tail set. I love the power and dimension this one has. I think this is a very, very true breeding hog.
This is lot 24 from Rake and Rochelle. She's a King After Hours from Burling Show Pigs. And I think many of us, after the Landrace show the other day, were just so impressed by the depth, and this is one of those that came through the ring that got us excited. Without a doubt, as genuine in terms of her width and shoulder dimension and muscularity up top as really anything that came through the ring, but she's a real clear standout in terms of her hip and hind leg as well, and the combinations that she's able to bring here to the Landrace division in terms of width, conservativeness in terms of her length of body, proportionality with muscle and athleticism is what really sets her apart. I feel like if the Landrace thing is something you're interested in, I feel like you really need to get in on types like this on Tuesday.
Yeah, I just want to add a little bit about this one. I had the opportunity to actually go by and see this one the other day. Her brother, actually, and I tell you what, we talk about gilts and females that come from remarkable litters. That was a remarkable litter because she's got a mate brother at the collective that I think is very, very intriguing and has the same skull shape, the same power, width, and shape and muscularity that this one puts together. Brock talked about it. I think the Landrace breed, I don't know where it's headed, but I can tell you they're pretty dadgum good this year here at the Oklahoma Youth Expo. I think this one right here, there is many a time we would have said ringside and said that one wins by a mile going away. Don't be surprised. That one don't generate one. I think that one has extra high quality.
This is lot 25 from Josh Finley. She's a top hand special effect raised by Morningstar.
Yeah, Berkshire South Supreme right here. One that just looks like a female from all attributes and does it so in a very wild, wide, powerful look. And just study this one when she slows down. Study this one a bit. Just the way she opens about her blade and carries and maintains her width and dimensional width all the way back. Probably as groove-backed and as shapely topped as any Berkshire that comes through the offering there this year at the OYE. You love this one in terms of her placement of her feet. Her toe quality is extremely good. I think this one right here looks like the kind that would make just an extremely good Berkshire sow, not only for this litter but for multiple litters down the road. When they have that kind of shape, that kind of muscle and dimension, you'll always stay in the middle of the game. This one will get you there, and this one will keep you there.
This is lot 26 from Bentley Blue. This gilt is an automatic on an alone time raised by Lorenzen Farms.
I guess what I would say on this particular gilt, I knew she was going to be coming in, and I talked earlier about different gilts that I couldn't wait to see and be able to talk about, and this is certainly one of them. She comes from the legend himself. A lot of people, we all give Tracy Lorenzen maybe a hard time for the award that he received last year when they called him the legend, but there's nobody that's more deserving to do that. But particularly when you can build them that look like this. The uniqueness that this one brings to the table, and I don't care what breed you're talking about, but to be that bold, that stout, that square, that opened up, still be that long about her hip, have that kind of muscle and all that put together in the proper proportionality, that's really hard to do. And she has a head on her that reads like I'm a stout Yorkshire sow. She's one that looks like that she'll go to the crate multiple times in her lifetime. I promise you she is bred to do that. She comes from a firm that raises as many of this breed as anybody, and they do it in the toughest environment. And so many times we don't think about that. We don't categorize that. We don't give value to that. I promise you this one here combines all of those things. If you need to make and you're serious about Yorkshires and everybody always says, hey, let's criticize this or criticize that with what we can do, this kind right here can make livestock better. I don't care what kind, what color, what you want to do. This is the kind that can do it. She's bred to be here, to look the way she is. She made a show gilt. She made it here. Not only is she taking home one of the banners from this breed, This right here is the example of one. We talk about memorable livestock that goes through the sale at the OYE. Don't be surprised if that one right there don't get a memorable tag on her one day. Really, really like that gilt.
This is lot 27 from Gentry Tatum. This gilt is an altogether head start raised by Todd Show Pigs, and without a doubt, it seems like altogether it's just on a heater here in the Polands, and I think this gilt exudes a lot of the things that those bring to the table. That gilt's agility and comfort level is really, really good, but at the same time, she brings a sweet shape to her shoulder and top line with an absolutely drop-dead, ridiculous look from the side. I'm not really sure how much better Polands can get than this one, but she is super high-end in my book. Got a great chest and a knee set in her like you really like, and it came from Gary Todd and Company. I think this one's got a lot of potential as a sow.
Yeah, a whole lot don't have to be added to anything you said there, Brock, other than the fact that how this one's built, her pedigree, how she's put together, and the firm that's behind her. But one thing that I will say, and I say this in a very positive manner, this one right here, you're not going to have to carry a bunch of extra dye with you. And I say that because I know the challenge and what that we all have to face at the show ring nowadays, and then at the same time, week in and week out, if you're showing one that has that color and this breed and go, you're going to be extremely, extremely competitive how it is. That thing is absolutely remarkable to look at from the side.
This is lot 28 from Madison Hood. This gilt is a Pitmaster WD-40 raised by Kent Bratton and family.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said about this one. Outside of the fact of the gilt herself, sired by Pitmaster. I had the opportunity to see that boar show and sale that day, and we talk about memorable animals and livestock, and I thought that was one unique creature, and then to see that and then top it off and say this one comes to you from the Bratton firm. There's not a family that has made more competitive livestock and breeds of livestock as that particular family does, and they do so because they're built just like this one. This is one stout, powerful, opened up female. Study her at the ground, her boldness, her extra stoutness, how opened up she is in the floor of her chest, her roundness of rib, the power that she possesses. She reads stout in the center of her skull, big in her tail head, long and square about her hip. I think that is a very, very high-end, quality Chester female. She can do a lot of things, not only from a standpoint of moving the breed forward. I think that is one that she may be a staple and could be one of the memorable ones that we've offered out of this year's particular event.
This is lot 29 from John Wyatt Piper. This gilt is a Versace raised by John Wyatt Piper.
Yeah, it's cool to get to talk this top two because in doing so, the first thing you say is, well, it's the same, and it's because they're litter mates. And to see a family be able to do that and get them shown, I think that's remarkable at this big of a stage and to do. And you can see both of these gilts, I think, when you study them, just in terms of skeletal width, the extra dimension that they bring to you. This gilt here that was reserved, I think, just study in terms of center body width, dimension, power, gives you a great look from the side. But I think their bones are very, very equal to the proportionality of their body. They're dense, they're heavy bone, they're big footed. They got shape and muscle about them. I like those things a great deal. It's really, really cool to have a pair of litter mates that look like that to play the game at this level.
This is lot 30 from Wade Ritchie. She's a Bell Bottom Blues Smoke from Kilmer Swine Farm.
Well, Brock, I was real pumped to talk about one earlier. I woke up this morning thinking about what I was going to say about one of those crossbred gilts that come in earlier and breeding value and potential. And the next one I thought about was this white one right here. And this thing here, I tell you, she has unique parts, pieces that I think is really, really hard to make in this white deal. Her moderation to compare to her boldness is second to none, and her height of her skeleton, her height of her shoulder, her moderation of skeleton, and such a power packed as a power packed individual, that's just hard to do. I love this one. It's easy to talk about her hair quality and all. For me, it's her feet and legs, the flexibility, the looseness of spine, her length of hip, and an absolute enormous hind leg all combines, I think, makes this thing very, very unique. I don't think that it hurts that her brother was good. We can talk about him there. Brock, you can add to that. Just study this one right here from a profile. Study her from the angles. Look at her. She looks like she's a sow walking to the farrowing crate right now. I can imagine what that one looks like with a belly full of pigs. Awesome, awesome female right here.
We probably should have led with that, Todd. This would be a littermate sister to the Reserve Grand at San Antonio. I kind of wonder which one was better. I wish we could get him up here to have them side by side because, I only got to watch that show just from the Walton Webcasting, or Taylor Ford, excuse me, but they share the same kind of look, the same kind of length of body, the same kind of flexibility. This light crossbred thing's hot right now, and I feel like this is definitely one that can continue that success. This is lot 31 from Dax Inman. She's an Awakening all out from Wilbur. This is one of those times I really wish old Papa Platt was sitting here. I would be giving him a really hard time for sliding this one down to third. Not that the other ones aren't really, really good. When you get this one out here, whether she's a light cross, a dark cross, or a purple polka dotted whatever, that one is exceptional. That kind of look from the side, that kind of mobility, that kind of bone, that kind of function doesn't come around very often, and this one really gets me excited about light crosses, about crosses in general. I think this is one that could be a sale highlight, and I feel like Hang Tight is a boar that's really made his impact here on these blue ones, and this gilt is a daughter of him.
Well, we talked about it several times, and you alluded to Brock, and again, so many times we all have different priorities, and that we wasn't asked to judge the show, and that's quite fine. I don't think that any of us would accept it anyway. But when you study them and you study them coming through, this is what you want your show barrow to look like. Those barrows that go up the hill next week, this is the moderation, this is the build, this is the stoutness, this is the squareness. When you start with females like that, you can make them. I like that one a great deal.
This is lot 32 from J.C. Wilson. She's a Wild Time, Never Before from Cox Show Team.
Well, again, we have a blue one here that hits the surface and gravitating for sure when you look at from a structural build standpoint. Her silhouette, height to shoulder is enormous. Reads really tough, if you will, in terms of her skull, her forearm, her shape. Again, sired by the Wild Time boar. We talk about the dominance he had last year. It's so refreshing to see a boar with that kind of generating predictability come back and once again do it here at the highest level one time again. That has extra value in so many attributes, and I think you can see that in this one. We talk about the gilts last year. This one looks just like them. She's just walking across the surface. I love how this one's built. Think about what you can do with a blue one like this in your herd, whether it's making white pigs or better belted ones. This one can do it.
This is lot 33 from Bailey Weeks. She's a hang tight, wide awake from Atkins Livestock.
Well, we've talked through some earlier and talk about those that have outlying pieces and parts and those that bring uniqueness to the game. And I think everything that you want to say can be said about this one right here, and it starts with her skull. There's not too many around nowadays that are white or blue that are built that read that stout in terms of their skull shape and the boldness. One of our great friends and late mentors that played a big role in this particular event was Larry Moore. He used to have a whole hillside full of them that looked like this, that kept that man in the business for a long, long time. They do so because of their longevity, the power, the true dimension that they have. I absolutely love this critter when I seen her go across the ring there. Her boldness, stoutness, forearm, her bones, her heaviness of skeleton, her true dimensional skeleton is second to none when you look at all of the bluegilts being offered at this year's event. It'll be real interesting to see who wants to step up and who has the real breeder mentality when this one here sails on Tuesday night.
I forgot to mention, Todd, this is a litter mate to hang around at Premium Blend Genetics. And as you mentioned, back to the Larry Moore thing, I remember growing up as a wee little guy watching him and like the Kent McLemores of the world show us all how the cow eats the cabbage with hogs that look just like this. I feel like this is one that I'm going to highlight and star on my list. She's got the pieces we need. This is lot 34 from Melissa Moore. She's a stopwatch mattress pad from Goss Livestock. Todd, I'm just an outsider looking in here in the spotted business, but it seems like this mattress pad thing's really been popping up on the bottom side of that deal, and the generating potential is clearly there. Those hogs have worked for quite a few years now. When you look at this gilt, you can see that in her, that kind of length of body, that kind of muscularity and stoutness of forearm. That mattress pad thing was so good in terms of length of body, and that gilt has that. She's got a tremendous hip and rear leg, the right kind of skull to her. As you mentioned earlier, there might be some versatility in terms of color here. If you're interested in maybe making some Polands on this one, you can go either direction, but either way, you're going to make them better with this one. This is lot 35 from Cash Seawright. This gilt is a Titan mattress pad raised by Swinford Livestock.
Yeah, none of these shows and sales or anything like that can go on without Swinford being involved, and it's year after year. And you talk about a family and a firm that consistently gets it done, and they did again here with this Power Pack Spot female. This thing is really, really broad, both up on the top side of her skeleton and down low. And, when you stand back and study this one from a silhouette standpoint, that's where you really, really have to admire the width, the dimension, the roundness of rib, and the amount of muscle and power this one has. I promise you that the lineage, the longevity of the sows and the sow family behind this one is bred and power-packed with champions. I think if you want to add a spot female to your herd, know that you can make a move down the road. The one here is certainly one that you need to have on your short list.
This is lot 36 from Kylie Blim. She's a hit the ditch big daddy from JD Show Pigs.
Man, we've seen a lot of those hit the ditches this time that I think has some unique parts, and I think this one categorizes right along with it, just in terms of dimensional width and power and substance. The way this one puts it all together, I think you have to like that. She does it in a very, very attractive package, but at the same time stays really, really bold and wide, coming and going. Anytime you find JD there on the bottom side in that spot deal, I think, Brock, you can talk about that. The value, the longevity, the consistency, time and time again. I don't know how many times we see and we hear about champion spots coming that JD's raised. Here's an opportunity. We talk about buy them when they're available. That one there's available to you on Tuesday night.
Yeah, you mentioned something about the pedigree there. I'm fairly confident that the famous high-selling crystal sow that he and I bought together are on both sides of this pedigree. And the mother, I believe, was a gilt that was champion a few years ago at the exposition. So that I feel like the pedigree here is really, really interesting and should add a lot of value to what she looks like on foot. This is tag 37 from Ryder Waitman. She's an incognito lampoon that came from Loveless Family Farms. Really a powerful sow line here. The mom raised the reserve at Reserve Bear here at OYE last year and the champion at Tulsa the year before. I got to judge this gilt mid part of the year, and she is without a doubt one of the more memorable Poland spots that I remember seeing throughout the year. She has got such a wild look from the side. She is just tremendous in terms of her look, but her shape is just so incredible. A lot of times when you get them good looking, that they don't have that kind of shape and dimension, and this gilt definitely has that. Really, really heavy duty. I think very, very mobile. I think a smaller kind of gilt that could continue to show, whether it's California, Revival, or wherever you'd like to go. There's just a lot of potential here, but one that has got all the freaky pieces on a really collected kind of package. This is lot 38 from Brinley Horsley. She's a hang tight say it from 4W Livestock. We all know this is just an incredibly tough gilt show, and it's tough to get in the sale. And tag 30 or lot 38, 31, and 20 are all littermate sisters. So if you're into consistency, if you're into making them better, I feel like this is those lots are something you should be really interested in. We've got a paper here with just generations of winners and sows that have been influential at AYE, in Oklahoma, at Arkansas, all over the place. These things have really generated, and obviously generated really consistently, because there's 3 of them here in the sale at OYE.
Well, I know this one comes out of the dark division, but the thing I'm going to talk to you about is there's some white in the blood somewhere, and that's obvious. I talked about early on, and when we get into some of them white ones, we'll probably say it time and time again, but it is amazing of how good that we can make pigs and how much better that some of them can be when we implement a shot of white. And I think this one does it, and does it in a power pack ability to do it in a power pack manner. She reads stout. She opens up in her blade stout. She's got big bones. Her feet and legs are just terribly, terribly square. Is the perfect size and moderation in my mind of design of what they need to look like. I think this one offers some very, very positive attributes. It only adds value to it when you talk about the litter she comes from. Coming from the 4W group, you can expect generations of quality all up and down there.
This is lot 39 from Gentry Tatum. She's a wild time say it echo from Johnson Genetics. I'd be very curious to hear what you have to say about this one, Todd. You come from the older generation. I feel like this gilt represents a lot of breeding value, and I'm kind of curious to see what the Savage Genetics side in Todd has to say here.
Well, I don't really know that I'm old. I don't classify myself that way, but I can't wait to talk about this one. And this one here, all I'm going to tell you is, this one reads true generator to me. All about her, all of her. Her skull, her bones, all of that reads power. And, I don't know. It's real easy to sit along ringside and criticize them here and there and say they need to be this or they need to be that. I understand those things. This one here, I'm not going to tell you needs to ever win a pig show, and I don't care if she does. But if you're a true hog breeder and you want to see what one looks like that looks like a real generator, this one right here has a lot of those pieces to me. She opens as wide and as big in terms of her forearm as maybe anything that we will see. She is stout, truly stout at the ground. I love her in terms of the shape and the proper width, if you will, in terms of spread. Her length and squareness to her hip is really, really good. There's going to be people that's going to doubt this and that about them. I get all that. But I tell you what, when you have a female that looks like this, you can expect to sell a high dollar generating boar long term. This is the kind here that you can buy, you can build a herd around, you can become relevant by putting 2 doses of semen in. There is plenty boars around the country. There is plenty boar studs around the country that would want you to use their boars on sows that look like this one right here. I don't know what she's worth. We'll find out on Tuesday night. I'm just telling you, for those of you that are serious buyers about moving forward and making one that's unique, this is the kind that's really neat to start with.
This is lot 40 from Ian Morris. She's a mainline play money tricked out from Halfin Genetics. This gilt is one. She is from one of the premier litters that came this summer, without a doubt. Those hogs, those 41 litters, have won all over the place. They did really, really well at Coba. I know there was Champion Hamp, Champion Heavy Division Cross, and this is one of the gilts. She was actually the gilt that Halfin had at the. She was at the she sale. Yeah, this is one that was at the she sale. We all wanted to buy her there. She brought like $25,000, so she started strong and finished strong. I saw this gilt in the mid part of the year, and she was one that I was so impressed with. And if you've asked me in the last few months, what do you breed mainline to? What do those pigs look like? I feel like this gilt represents those hogs really, really well. That type of length of body, that kind of shape to their shoulder and top line, he does that all the time, and this gilt came from a tremendous litter, so I feel like that should give you a lot of confidence as a buyer. This is lot 41 from Gentry Terrell. She's a cold-blooded picture this from Ham Livestock.
Yeah, Brock, this is another one that offers some big parts and pieces, and love this one from so many different characters, whether it be from the standpoint of just the look and presence. She gives you a head of her blade, but just the shape and the enormous amount of freshness of back that she has, and still so clean about her rib. And I think a lot of times we don't talk about that near enough, of how genuine and body shape real that some of them are. And I think this one ties a lot of those things together. Her bones, they read ideal for me from a standpoint of a female. They're big, but yet they're clean in terms of her joints. I like this gilt here a great deal. Her silhouette and paint picture that she paints right there from the side, I think, man, that is nearly perfect.
It would not surprise me one bit if this gilt popped up in some pictures down the road, maybe on the West Coast or in the Midwest or wherever it might be. She's got a lot of life left to her, and as you mentioned, her composition is absolutely perfect. This is lot 42 from Cooper Buck. She's an all-access money's on from Goss Livestock. She was a class winner the other day, and without a doubt, one of the more memorable skull shapes that came through the ring the other day. That gilt's just front-end design is absolutely insane. Her ability to attach her neck that high at the base of her neck is really impressive to me, but still got a monster kind of rear leg with just tremendous shag and in big shape and big muscle up top. And you would expect that given the pedigree and the where she came from. It's a really nice gilt, Todd, here in lot 42. This is lot 43 from Hallie Johnston. She's a promotion buckle up from McGuire Livestock. This is one that I noted the other day to myself. I believe she was a class winner, and I really had no idea what she was standing on the side there, but she was really speaking to me then, and she definitely is now. I feel like this is one that she's looks exactly the same as she did the other day, which gives me some confidence. Just she's really genuine and honest in terms of her look from the side. There isn't a better view in terms of his top line, neck, and look up front in terms of bone. This one does it really, really well. She's super flexible, super agile. The grandma is a tricked out mate sister that came from Decker. This one won all year long. She won up here, so that should give you some confidence from start to finish. She was a nice baby, a nice big one. This is definitely one I feel like should be on the upper end of your list. This is lot 44 from Jenny Johnson. This gilt is a Twisted Affair Vice from Little Man Genetics.
Yeah, another one I think comes in that I think's absolutely extreme in terms of quality, and another one that I would tell you in years past we would be walking through here and telling you was the champion of this year's show, because this thing here, the parts and pieces this one has may combine as many positive attributes as any that we'll offered. She's sired by Twisted Affair. That's a boar that we have there at Savage, and that boar's done a remarkable job. And this gilt looks just like her daddy in terms of her flank forward, the way her blade lays in, the extra extension she has out front. She's still got tremendous shape about her. I love her feet and legs. I think this one right here has tremendous breeding potential. If you want to lay in and jump in and get in the Hampshire business, I would have full confidence in trying to own this one here come Tuesday night.
This is lot 45 from Channing Goodson. This gilt is a reach-around eating crow from Savage Genetics. We all know here in the Hampshire Brit business that there's very few shows where there's not a winner from Savage, and those guys have really got this Hampshire thing figured out, and I feel like this gilt really represents the things that they emphasize at their ranch. This gilt's maturity, that gilt's head shape, her frame size and length of body all really look like something Savage set out to make. That gilt's got a great hip and hind leg, really heavy duty, and if you're a Hampshire breeder searching for new genetics, different genetics, just something else to work with, I feel like this fourth out Hampshire has to be on your list.
Brock, the only thing I'll add to that, this one here's mother is actually a littermate to Arrowhead, the boar that was champion there at Summer Conference there 2 years ago that went to Premium Blend. Her mother is extremely powerful. I think this one has some very unique parts and generating ability to her. I will say, and it's one that we bred, but we've not made one that had that kind of power and read with that kind of power the front 2/3 of her body, because this thing right here, her skull shape, her forearm, and her chest, I think is absolutely remarkable.
This is lot 46, shown by Lauren Crosswhite. She's a Rumble Top Gun raised by Oklahoma State University.
Yeah, as we round out the discussion of the gilts here from the 5 Hampshire gilts that's in the show this year, it's quite prideful, I guess, for me, honestly, to talk about them, because I think the quality of the Hampshire show was tremendously good, and there's many years this gilt here would have easily been the champion here, and you see so because of her build and kind. She's tremendous in terms of the upper side of her skeleton, the amount of width that she has coming and going. She is as powerful up through her front end as probably as you'll find. She's got great shape. Her moderation and build is extremely good. She's sired by the Rumble boar. That's an older boar. It's refreshing to see people continuing to use that one. That boar had generating power. I'll tell you, this gilt right here has generating power as well.
This is lot 47, shown by J.C. Cantrell. She's a one-way stinger raised by Cantrell Show Pigs.
Yeah, uniqueness to the highest degree right here. Bold, stout, square, big skulled, stout skulled, huge chest floor. This thing is enormous the way she comes at you. I think one that makes a herd boar, makes a bearer that can win a show. You love this thing in terms of just the power pack, the density and mass that this thing puts together. I really love this one in terms of the angle and the view that she gives you right directly at you.
This is a gilt sired by One Way, as I mentioned, and this is maybe the third gilt out of that boar that's came through the ring, and there's a leadoff as well, which are littermates, and I think we're seeing that they're really making these gilts just good looking from the side with just enormous shape to their forearm and front leg, and that view from the side in terms of their levelness and shape up top is something they're doing over and over. I think that should give some value to this gilt that we're seeing a repetitive pattern within one genetic line. This is lot 48, shown by Gunnar Allen. She's a culture, blow and smoke, raised by Steve and Mark Gray show pigs.
Yeah, here's one right here that just that reads power, and I've talked about short listers, and here's another one that can fit on that mold, and you can when they're built like this. Moderation to a high degree, great out front, good extension, jaw plate lays in her about right, her blade lays in her good. See her from behind. She stays square, coming and going, has power all about her. You love this one down in terms of shape down her back, down into her top. I think if you still want to continue to maybe show one, this one gives you a little bit of daylight in that regard. But I tell you what, just looks like tremendous sow power.
You know, I love it whenever I read these pedigrees and I see that breeders that raise boars go back and use their own boars. They clearly did it with a plan, and you can see that it really worked out. The quality that you find from this gilt on the side view is just absolutely immense, and I feel like if you are somebody looking for a sow, this is definitely one, but definitely one that you could also continue on to show quite a bit this summer. This is lot 49, shown by Riker Johnson. She's a relentless, tricked-out big tail raised by Premium Blend Genetics.
You know, Brock, we talk about those that are memorable, and we've talked about that today, and we talk about gilts that we point the finger at and say will be memorable. And I think anybody that's sitting around ringside here, it doesn't take long to remember Big Tail. And when you say that and you find this one in the pedigree, then study her, remember what she looked like, and study the one in front of you, because her skull shape reads ideal to what her mother's look like. I mean, this thing opens good. She's square about her chest. She keeps everything in check in terms of her knee. Her feet placed down extremely, extremely good. You love the length about her hip, the way she goes down to her stifle. I love her in terms of her feet and legs, the bones that she has. This is just a very, very high-end, high-quality gilt, sired by Relentless. Man, I tell you, that don't hurt you anywhere, anytime. You can do so many things with this one. I promise you, when you look at the power pack and the pedigree, the bloodline with her, and then the way that this one's built, this one right here is nothing but high quality. She would be an added addition. She would add value to anybody's herd. This would be a great addition to take home Tuesday night.
This is lot 50, shown by Garrison Todd. She's an on-the-prowl backdrop raised by My Family Show Pigs.
Yeah, oh my on this one here. I think, again, this one hit the ring, and it doesn't take long to gravitate your eyes to one that looks like this. So striking ahead of her blade in terms of the look. Her jaw placement is near ideal, the way that her natural head carriage is. Really clean about the upper side of her pole. She's got great shape, puts her feet and legs down tremendously square. Comes at you with a great big old bold chest in her. Love her in terms of her feet, the way that her toes hit the ground. Love her tail, the way she has. Man, I tell you what, if you want a sow that can just do a lot of things for you, I think, again, this one here puts a lot of positive things together. Not too far out there on the edge, but really, really edgy with some parts and pieces. I like that one a great deal.
This is lot 51 from Laney Allen. She's a cold-blooded, tricked out from Stokely Show Pigs. I remember in that last division the other day, Todd, seeing this gilt as she came in, and honestly, I was pretty overwhelmed. There are so many neat things about this gilt, and she's done a lot of things right to a really big weight. You know, so many times these things don't finish, as I mentioned earlier, and this gilt clearly has. How many gilts have came through the ring with that kind of forearm, that kind of skull dimension, and that kind of rear leg? That's a really difficult combination to put that together. Coming from a firm like Stokelst, you really don't get the opportunity to buy ones like this very often, and I've always said that the time to buy them is when they're for sale, and this gilt is for sale, and I feel like if you're ready to make your crop better next year, this is the one you probably need to get. This is lot 52 from Farah Dupree. This gilt is a TS2 on a motivation. She came from Danner Livestock. This gilt was the third out red gilt, and if you went through the show the other day and watched and kind of took note of the kinds that came in through the ring and the kinds that found their way into the upper end of things, you're probably not surprised she ended up being third out, because this gilt was in a different kind of category relative to her kind. She is so wide, she is so dimensional, and so stout, but she is really, really mobile. If you're after kind of a groundbreaking mover shaker here in the Duroc breed, I think this is the one.
Yeah, again, we talk about skull shape, width, power, knowing she's out of the boar she's out of and the firm that she comes from. Man, I tell you what, Danners, they make the unique ones that win, the unique ones that stick out, and you can read all of those factors, just as you alluded to in this one, Brock. Man, and this one here, she looks like not only is she going to make a gilt that can win a show, she looks like she can make bears that win shows. More importantly, she looks like she could make a herd boar that could be revolutionary for the breed. I love this one. Her tailhead alone is worth a whole lot to me.
This is lot 53 from Melissa Moore. She's an all-the-way main character bred by Goss Livestock.
I love the skull that this one has, and although I would tell you that I think she looks just like a female wants to and needs to from the side, this thing right here reads tough and powerful to me. I love her study in terms of her nose. Look at where her air's set out on the side of her head. She's wide-eyed. She's big-tailed. Everything about this thing in terms of her center body reads toughness. She's long about her hip. That's a female that has a long longevity about her. Her ability to generate is going to continue. The Goss herd has put together these red ones at the highest level as anybody, and they do so because they've got power pack females that look like this time and time again. She's available to you Tuesday night. I'd say bid as long as you can if you want to add a powerful red female to your herd.
This is lot 54 from Tegan Winter. She's a forward understatement from Winter Livestock.
Yeah, the Winter Livestock crew doesn't need a whole lot said in terms of knowing their ability to put them together. And Chocolate come in there the other day and quickly had to gravitate and see what this one was. And not only when you see Winter name behind it, you expect that, but then more importantly, and I think so refreshing, we talk about often, is sired by forward. And that forward boar has done a tremendous job, and he's continuing to do a tremendous job, and they do so when they look like this. The build of this particular female, her height of her shoulder, the look she gives you, the presence of front head of her blade, still reads stout about her skull, big old forearm and chest about her. I love that color that she has. I like the shape that she has. Her build is good. All four of her feet and legs are going forward. They point the right direction. More importantly, her toes are set on her near ideal. I think that one there has great generating potential about her.
This is lot 55 from Paisley Collins. This gilt is an I'm Here Standing on Business from HC Livestock.
Yeah, we talk about consistency and quality of litters, and I would tell you that this was probably as a competitive a litter as showed up here at the Oklahoma Youth Expo this time. I think they stood 1, 3, and 5 in class there when they come through, and they do so just because of basic build, height of shoulder, levelness of the lines, length and squareness of hip. This looks like a tremendous red sow prospect, if that's such a term. I don't know if it is, but when you build them like this, and imagine what they look like with a belly full of pigs, that's what you want them to look like. She gives you an excellent look from the side. Her length and extension ahead of her blade is absolutely phenomenal, really square about her toes. Just look and study how comfortable she is as she moves across the center here of the ring. I think that's a very, very good gilt. Obviously, come from a tremendous litter. The Collins family, year in, year out, always has one knocking on the door here at the OYE. This is the one that knocked this year and opened it up. I think you got a great opportunity.
This is lot 56 from Brock Hammock. She's a turn red on a rock, bred by Heron Genetics.
Yeah, we obviously talk about memorable ones, and this one here, she comes in and no different than Class here as well. As you remember back there, what she looked like at Coba. And Brock made mention earlier, we talked about another breed of how some of them continue to go and grow and mature the way they're supposed to. You put this one in that same category. This one's height to shoulder, elevation. Her length of body is very appropriate. The amount of muscle that she has, she comes and goes tremendously square. I think the uniqueness to this one is the way that her head comes out of the top of her blade. Her blade still lays back in her very, very good. She's very comfortable about her feet and legs. This one right here can make a herd boar. She can make a bear that can win a show. This one can do a lot of things, made it to the right boar. I think you got a huge opportunity right here with that one.
This is lot 57 from Sierra Johnson. This gilt is a Wild Time State of the Union from Greg Perry. This gilt is one of those blue belted ones with just, I love this color pattern. I remember from the show the other day, this gilt side view is just incredible. The way her tail's cranked way up there, the stoutness of feature that she has, the extra muscularity up top there. The Wild Time thing was just absolutely on fire last year, and these guys went back to it. But the bottom side here is State of the Union, and that's a boar that I think had a really and will continue to have an impact on the bottom side of these blue ones. He's passing on that color, but this gilt's wild look, that extra shape and extra dimension, I feel like is coming from the State of the Union thing, and that gives me some confidence she'll continue to generate in that same direction.
One thing to add to that, to Brock, is it's interesting to me. We always talk about a gilt that comes in the ring every year that has unique parts and pieces. Every year you can count on one, and it's consistently happened time and time again. Greg Perry always has that one in the sale. This right here is the one for 2026. Take advantage right here. As you've said many times, this one's being offered. You got to buy them when they're for sale.
This is lot 58 from Bradshaw Bunt. She's an unrivaled on White Flag's mom. So unrivaled wham from Linder Show Pigs.
This would be another one of those deals, I'd tell you, to just watch the screen and consider the pedigree that it took to put this one together. But for those of you that are truly wanting to make advancements in terms of the next generation better, you're working with the opportunity and the ability right now to be with a combination of two of the greatest breeders in today's industry, and that is certainly not to take anything away from anybody, but two of them that are playing at the highest level within their games. And the unrivaled boar, I don't think has to have a whole lot said about him. I certainly don't feel like the White Flag does either. And when you combine the two and you make one that has this silhouette, this look, this extension, and that moderation of a package, and still yet study one for all you youngsters out there and all of the show jocks that judge shows nowadays that want to talk about things, look at what one really is supposed to look like when you talk about length of hip, because this one right here exemplifies it and does to the highest level and degree. I like this one a great deal. This thing has sow power all over. We don't have to talk about how valuable her genetic package is. I would just tell you, if you want to make pigs better, I don't care if they're white, if they're black, or what they are, this one right here can do it.
This is lot 59 from Andrew Watley. She's a white flag wham from Hayes Farms. This is a gilt that I stumbled across in the wash rack today as well. And honestly, I didn't get to watch all the light crosses the other day, but this one really struck me very positively back there. And to your point earlier, Todd, these light crossbreds were as deep as ever, and it kind of goes to show right here. This is the 8th out light cross, and in many years, this is the one that wins. From the side, it is impeccable. This gilt's design, that kind of head carriage and just lack of neck and crest that she has. But as that gilt turns and goes away, she has got legit dimension. She's busted open up top, really big in terms of her rib design. And anytime we get into these light crosses over the years, people always ask, are they as heavy structured as the dark ones? And a lot of times you say no. But in this case, this gilt is without a doubt as heavy-duty as you will ever find. She's almost white. You could continue to show her. You can make a sow out of her and put some cash in the bank. Really, either direction. What you could go either direction here. I find a lot of value in this particular gilt. This is lot 60 from Laney Allen. This is a relentless say it from Goss Livestock, and it's tough to see her ear notch from here, but at the very least, this would be a full sib to Silverback at Premium Blend.
We talk about the Goss firm, and we talk about consistency. There is no firm that's been more consistent at this show and sale as anybody. And again, we do so, and we do it in a repetitive manner. This gilt looks the way she does because remember how her mama looked. Remember how her grandma looks. Then we say relentless again. This thing is built to be here. They're bred to be here, and that's why they're here. And I think so many times that may be a lost art of forgiveness. But, I mean, look at this one and study from a standpoint of a boldness, the squareness. Her shape of cleanliness of rib is very, very good. She's got extra spread coming and going. This thing here looks like a sow that can go to work for about anybody. Her pigs will be heard from.
This is lot 61 from Madeline Gray. She's a relentless shock and awe from Hilty Show Pigs.
Yeah, here again, we've said relentless numerous times, and seems like every time we say relentless is the same time that we talk about uniqueness, and I think that's what this one here brings and offers. When you look in terms of this one, the look and the silhouette that she gives you, she's got great shape and power, but I think it's just overall with the skeleton that this one does, and she does so in a combined manner of the proper proportion. We talk about those that have some longevity of life left in them in the show ring. I would definitely put this one on the list. She looks like to me that she's just ready to go and grow at this stage, and I think she could be one in 45, 60 days from now or even longer that could be an absolute creature on down the line. This thing here has got some good parts and pieces. I'd look that one up.
This is lot 62 from Maddox Henry. This gilt is a Can't See Me share from Wintex Farms.
Well, everybody knows the consistency in the Wintex program and what they've done time in and time out and day in and day out, if you will. And putting these white down here ones together is certainly not an easy task, and they do it at the highest level all the time. It seems like. I know they come off of a great win, a great run there, winning champion and reserve at Denver. And when you build them like that, and they're sorry about that can't see me, this is what they look like. You talk about moderation of length of body, still yet having height to shoulder, squareness, and the muscle this one puts together. I think a very, very unique landrace breeding piece right here. This one can do a lot of things for the breed. I think move you right on down the road if you own this one on Tuesday night.
This is lot 63 from Owen Batterton. She's a Wildcat, I guess, from Sam Shear Show Pigs.
Yeah, Brock, this one comes in, and I tell you what, the landrace offering this time I thought was absolutely remarkable in terms of the parts and pieces that they all bring to the table, and this one does so in a manner of extra stoutness and boldness. I think looking at her in terms of having a good look about her, but doing it in a stout feature package, and still having the extra elevation that so many of them require and need when they hit in the show ring. This one here, she's not one of those short-statured, low-set ones. This one has a little overall frame size. I like this one a great deal just in terms of her shape, muscularity, and extra power that she brings to the table.
This is lot 64 from Gage Montgomery. She's a Can't See Me Wildcat from Savage Genetics. This is one of those gilts that really gets me excited in the landrace deal. That kind of moderation and shortness to her spine. I think that's one of the hard things that you do here in the landrace, or probably combat in the landrace. So many times they get a little longer and a little thinner haired. This gilt's got great hair, great center body. I love her length of body just in terms of its conservativeness. Really stout in terms of her forearm. She has a great look from the side. That kind of skull is something I feel like that needs to be in every landrace female. If you're interested in making really good landrace, or you can kind of switch it up and do some other things, there's a lot of opportunity here in tag 64. This is lot 65. She comes from Caitlin Dufer. This gilt is a cold-blooded picture this, never before, from Ham Livestock. Second gilt, I believe, from Ham Livestock. Multiple, this has got to be the third or fourth out of cold-blooded. We're definitely seeing a pattern here, Todd.
Yeah, I tell you what, this one here, I know it sounds repetitive, but, man, from a female perspective, just study this thing blade forward. Look at her and analyze her from the way that her blade lays in her, down to her knee, all the way to her foot. You love this thing in terms of a silhouette and a pattern. Not only does she look like a great show gilt, this is going to be one impressive one to go out to your lot and look at every day. She's going to be very, very impressive 2 or 3 years down the road as a big sow. There's lots and lots of boars that, man, you can breed to sows like this. This one's got generating potential made all over. I think one thing about this one, when you study this one in terms of her build up front, you still have to equally be just as pressed from her behind. Look at her length of hip, the way that her hip lays in her. Study the way that her hock placement is. This is right here, I think, a big time sow potential right here. This one here, I don't know what you're looking for. I'm not saying she should have won the show by no means, but I do tell you what, if you ask me which one that you can buy and take home and make a generation better, this is the kind you need to start with.
This is lot 66, shown by Avery Throckmorton. She's a mainline, quite elite, raised by Philip Showpigs.
Yeah, again, another short lister here, and really high on the short list at that matter. And you say so when you look at her take 2 steps into the ring because, man, her big, bold, powerful chest separates her alone, and then look at the extension she has and the cleanness of jaw that she has. But, man, when we sat up there where we did the other day and watched her go across the ring, I don't know if there's many that open in the upper part of their blade any bolder and wider and as stout with an old-school deep groove in her back like this one has. She's still moderate in terms of her build. Again, one that I think that has some generating potential about her. You just got to love that front 2/3 of what this one puts together. I like a lot of things about this one. She definitely needs to be on a short list.
This is lot 67 coming in next. She's a woke Kingpin, raised by CNC Show Pigs, and I feel like the fire is just getting soaked right here, Todd. This is one that we all remember throughout the year, and without a doubt, this is the best she's looked here at the Oklahoma Youth Expo. This is one that we saw at COBA, and we felt like could be an absolute hammer, and she's done so many good things from then until now. And if you're a feeder, a breeder, or someone interested in raising show pigs, I think you need to get in on this one simply because she's gotten better in the last 45 days. How many times have we all had show pigs that dwindle and don't finish right? This gilt's finished really, really well, and on top of that, you read her pedigree. I feel like that should give you a lot of confidence. Look at the gilt, and you definitely have to be impressed.
Well, ditto to everything that Brock just said there. The only thing that I may add to the fact is the mother of this one is a Kingpin sow. How many times over the years and for how many years have we said Kingpin, 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 and find high value in there? You don't have that opportunity to find one that that's a direct daughter of Kingpin many times anymore. And then when you look at her sire and what he's done, but then study the gilt, just as you said, Brock. This one don't need any more attributes about her. Phenomenal in terms of her build, feet and legs, bones. You got to love it. CNC did a great job putting that one together.
This is lot 68, shown by Riker Johnson. She's a wild time, modern day, raised by Hammock Show Pigs. And if you think back to the show the other day, I think there's a few of them that came through the ring that we saw as babies that I definitely regret not bidding on. And this is one of those. This gilt's length of body relative to her height and bone just fits me really, really well. I feel like her proportionality just speaks to so many people who stand to the side of her. But that kind of head and skull, that's what I'm drawn to every morning when I walk out and check on my sows. That big gilt right there has got so much generating potential, and I think that it should give you a lot of intrigue, especially when she's a wild time back on a modern day. To me, that's a pedigree that looks and reads really female oriented. Then when you look to this gilt and see how stout she is, I feel like that should give you a lot of positivity as a buyer.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And one thing about this one, Brock, that you can say so many times, and a lot of people don't quite understand it when you say it. This is not one that I always gravitate to and say, man, that looks like the show winner. But don't be surprised if she's not the mama of one that wins the show next time, because her generating parts and pieces without big of bones, her flexibility, and just if you don't study anything else about her, look at her 4 feet and legs and the way that they place and hit across the surface. You got to love those things about her. Her moderation is extra good. For me, it's the skull shape, her wide eyes, where her ear sets on her. That thing there is going to generate one day down the road. Remember her from years in the years ahead. That one there was offered to you at 2026 OYE.
This is tag 69 from Violet Humphreys. She's an all-access tricked out from Goss Livestock.
Again, another one comes in from the Goss crew, and I tell you what, just looks like a sow. And I know so many times you say that, people says, well, what's that mean? Well, when they're basically billed, and I say that in a very humbly positive manner, when they're tall, that high-shouldered, they're that square in their back, they're that long and square about their hip, they come at you that busted open in their chest, and they put their toes down that square when they come and go away from you. You have so many things that you can do to make good pigs out of sows that look like that. This one right here exemplifies it, I think, to the highest degree of putting those things together. You take this one, you buy her, take her home and breed her. There's lots and lots of boars around the country that you can add the extra parts and pieces to. You never get out of line or out of bounds when you have females look like that.
This is lot 70 from Macy Walker. This gilt is above and beyond from Goss Livestock, and I am really curious to know who buys this gilt, because whoever buys this one is not interested in making middle-of-the-road Berkshires. They are wanting to make real progress. This gilt has got some outlier features, and she was one that I really gravitated to the other day during the show. This gilt is next level in terms of her look and muscle shape and smoothness from the side, but she has got some Mongo legs and a great hip and hind leg. Just looks like the type of Berkshire that you can take home and make immense amounts of progress with. That's one of the reasons why I'm curious about where this one goes. We're going to be a young show family coming to the OYE next year. We may need one out of this one.
Oh, how about that? So you wonder why the Gosses win as much as they do. It's because they have those females that have the outline pieces, just as you described in this one, Brock. And look at this one, just fundamentally sound, but then at the same time, look how big she is at the ground. It all starts with the width in her chest, the width in her eyes, and in her skull. This thing right here is truly, truly powerful. If you want to live out on the edge, take this one home with you, and Brock will be looking you up here this next fall.
This is lot 71 from Ava Gilcrease. She's a moonwalk above and beyond from Decker Show Pigs.
Yeah, I tell you what, this one here, I hope she looks on screen for those of you that are watching, as admirable as she does when you're sitting ringside, because this thing here is eye-catching and striking from a profile standpoint, but her stoutness is absolutely unbelievable. Her skull shape is stout. Her forearm's big. Her bones are big. Everything about her is big and stout about her. But overall, when it's all said and done, there is not a looser constructed, looser spine one than what this one is, to have the power and dimension she has. This is a Berkshire sow that comes from a Berkshire program that has been as dominating as anybody in the country, sired by a tremendous boar. I feel like this one here puts a lot of positive things together from a breeding aspect and a breeding value standpoint. If you want to make better Berkshire hogs, I'd say this better be one you tie into.
This is lot 72 from Harley Belay. This gilt is a chain link Van Halen that was raised by Barn Burner Genetics.
Yeah, this gilt here, another one. This is the one that hit the ring, and everybody's papers flipped up there on the stage the other day of what is this one, because at first glance, when you study one and you see one come in that is that powerful, opens up with that much dimension, center body, shape, muscularity, and power, it is quite gravitating. And this one does it, and yet at the same time, talking about all of her power and dimension, the most power she have might be down low, because her bone work is big, her feet's big, she's stout, she's square-toed, she's sound, she's flexible. That looks like a Berkshire herd sow you can put into a herd. Not only will be good her first litter, but still be good after about her sixth litter. Those kind right there, those are hard to come by day in and day out. If you want to add one that has true dimensional power and width, this one right here needs to be on your list.
Absolutely. That is one of the heaviest duty, biggest legged Berkshires that you will ever find. And she's been a really successful show gilt. Obviously got along here at the Oklahoma Youth Expo, was also champion at the Northwest District. This is lot 73 from Mackenzie Kirkhart. She's an upward on a top it off raised by Goss Livestock.
Yeah, this one here, I remember her the other day in class, and just so eloquent in her build, the shape that she has, the amount of muscle she has. Stand off of this one where you really love this one, Brock. Her height to shoulder, extension ahead of her blade, and the look that she possesses is what makes this one a real standout for me. if you're looking to add one that can go home for you and make you those big ring show gilts that can win on them big stages, this is what you want them mamas to look like. She just gives you a near picture perfect profile. Her feet and legs are tremendously good. She's sound. Everything's pointing forward. This is one that can move you forward, make you relevant in the breed.
This is lot 74, shown by Ryder Waitman. She's a conviction heavy hitter raised by Reed Livestock.
Yeah, this Halloween calico, whatever you want to call it, gilt comes in. And, again, we talk about those that still have future ahead of them and days ahead and show. I think this one falls in that category. But I guess for me the real discussion here is just how memorable not only this one is when she hit the ring the other day, but how memorable she's been all year long. This gilt has had a great show career leading up to this particular point. You love all of that about it, but the reason being is just study her. Her basic build, moderation, her bones, her flexibility, looseness, her enormous hind leg that she has. It all makes her very, very unique. But then to be able to do it in such a long-hipped, flexible spine package makes her very one that needs to be looked at a great deal. I think this one has great parts and pieces. If you need one like this, go on down the show to show or just lay into the sow lot. I think this calico definitely deserves your attention.
This is lot 75, shown by Bennett Ballou. She's a leadoff, buckle up, quite frankly, raised by Tres Amigos.
Yeah, again, we talk about those that have all the big parts and the big pieces, and this one certainly fits in that category, just in terms of extra boldness, stoutness, the bone, her big feet, the power she has. She's got hair dripping off of her body. You just study this one about her head and her skull. I know there's people around the world that says, oh, hey, that thing don't look like a female. I'm not going to tell you that she does. What I'm going to tell you this one looks like is one that's going to make a herd bore. She is stout about her mug. She is enormous in terms of her bone work. She comes at you wide. Her chest floor is arguably as wide as what that we will see in here. This thing here, not perfect by no means. Don't be surprised she don't make a champion somewhere down the road. I like lots and lots of big parts and pieces about this one. Her tail head don't hurt anything either.
This is lot 76, shown by Gage Winters. She's an unrivaled from G&S Swine, and her mom is the mother of Power Hour and just a whole line of boars that are in stud now. And if you're like me and you're sitting at the Holy Smoke Pig Sale a few years ago and watched that gilt come through the ring and thought $16,000 was expensive to buy her, you definitely feel foolish, because that was a tremendous purchase. That gilt was from Kilmer. She had a great show career, and I still to this day regret not bidding on that gilt as a baby, because she has been such a generator, and this gilt is out of her.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about a few things on this one. I talk about uniqueness, but this looks like a power herd, a power sow that'll fit in anybody's herd. Height, the shoulder, her build, all of that is very unique. I think for me, though, we just study her pedigree, study the generations of products the pigs that are behind this to make the product that you have in front of her. You take Unrivaled, you said there. You take the Wilbur sow that you said there. Everything about this thing looks like a generating female. There's boars all across the country that you can breed this one to. This one here is going to be impressive the day you buy her. She's going to be more impressive 3 or 4 years later when you say everything that come out of her. This thing here has generating attributes about her that may be something that's similar to nothing else in here. I do happen to like, and I don't care what anybody else says, anytime you find one that's got freckles in her belt, she's going to live around for a long time. She's also going to be one that's going to generate. If you don't pay attention to anything else I say during this entire lineup, Mark, put a star by that one. See what she does down the road.
This is lot 77, shown by Ryan Scamahorn. She's a Kong Hero Little Bro Trumpet, raised by Wilbur Genetics. This gilt was the grand overall gilt at the Northwest District show just a couple weeks ago, and it comes with a neat pedigree as well.
Yeah, I tell you what, I was very excited to talk this one because I remember this one in class when she hit the other day. And I mean, this thing right here, we talk big parts, big pieces. I've said it multiple times over and over. This one puts it all together. Her build, her height, shoulder, her length, this proportionality is extremely good. You love her in terms of her back shape. Her length to hip is what separates her, though, I think, from so many, to be as bulky and beefy, if you will, up through the front side of her body. I love the angle that she has about her hip. She puts her hind leg down tremendously good. Real good breeding piece here. Short lister. Don't have to text me. Don't have to call me. That one definitely goes on that list of short ones, short listers if you need to know. Study them in terms of feet and legs. That's what they're supposed to look like.
This is lot 78, shown by Boone Mosteller. She's a one-way money line raised by Moyer Genetic Edge.
We talked another one of these just a little bit ago that come from the Moyer firm, and you still see it. I mean, big parts, big pieces. This one may offer a little more extension ahead of her blade there in relation, but I tell you again, just a great sow silhouette, if you will. High-headed. You love her on the top side of her pole. Her length to hip is extremely good. You like the power and dimension that this one has. All that being said, she comes tremendously square at the ground. Study her in terms of her feet and her toe placement. The angle she has about her blade with that enormous amount of muscle. I think a real generating sow here. You know the lineage is stout. You know there's power packed in that pedigree anytime that they come from Aussie on. This thing here, she's got breeding potential written all over in my mind.
This is lot 79 from Bailey Weeks. This gilt is a Speak for Yourself King of Queens, raised by Barn Burner Genetics.
Well, I don't know how many unique Yorkshire breeding pieces we've seen from Barn Burner, but it's been several, and I don't know if you can't take this one off the list because stoutness of skull, boldness up front, her blade openness and the shape she's got, big from behind, she's square coming, she's going. Her moderation is near ideal in terms of her frame size. Got a great big old tail on her. I love the skull shape that she has. She looks like the kind that can make Yorkshire Barras, make Yorkshire Boars. She can make a Yorkshire female. That also looks like the kind that you could make a crossbred Barra with. There ain't nothing wrong with having a good blue Barra. Not enough people in the country do that. Make you a set of foundation females with one that looks like that. She already is put together to be a Barra maker. She brings all that to the table. I think you got a great opportunity with one from Barn Burner. It's getting late.
This is lot 80 from Isaac Barnett. She's a Dream On hit list, raised by Lance Ryan Showpigs.
Yeah, you say Lance Ryan, and you look at this one come in the ring, and it all makes sense. Height to shoulder, elevation, moderation, and build. It looks like the kind that you're going to find coming out of that particular herd, and then knowing so or doing so and putting that all together, it's maxed out in terms of skeletal width. Still looks appropriate and extended about her head and her neck. The extension she has, her length out back is really good. Really square about her toes, puts her feet and legs down extremely square. Love her tail head, love her sow look that she possesses out front. This looks like a Yorkshire female. Again, it sounds like it's going to be repetitive. Make your Yorkshire breed better with sows like this. Make your white crossbreds. This is a foundation of how you do it. Put this one to work. I promise you're going to make progress with her first litter.
This is lot 81 from Gage Les Prince. She's a Fax Step Ahead, raised by Triple C Hog Farm.
Yeah, the very first thing that strikes me about this one is Triple C and Dr. Cole, and then look at the individual and you see why. Moderate, stout, square, opened up, looks like a female, but has extra dimension and squareness about her. Both coming and going. You love this one, the way she comes out of the upper side of her blade. Her length of hip is extremely, extremely good. That Yorkshire deal, I mean, from time to time, it's easy to sit along ringside and people criticize so many of these things and say we can do this or we can do that with them. This is the kind of sows you can do a lot with. Whether you want to make better Yorkshires, you can start with one like this. I know there's some very popular breed moving boars that's out there today. This is the kind of sow you need to use. If you want to take and use this one to make better white crosses, I promise you can do this with this one. I don't know a whole lot about the pedigree. I'll be honest with you, not even going to tell you that I heard much of what Brock said. But what I will tell you, this one was bred to look the way she does. Her moderation is true. Her build is good. Squareness that she has puts to the ground. I would say this is a great breeding piece to be offered in the Yorkshire breed.
Yeah, just additional note to this one. She looks like a tremendous female. She has a great vulva, and she has got tits for days underneath there. She could raise her pigs and everybody else's. I definitely think that's something you should note. This is lot 82 from Leighton Dyer. She's a Seeing Things Cotton Appin from Jennings Show Pigs, and I'm fairly confident this is a litter mate to Optic at Hofschulte Genetics. That has been one incredible litter. There's a belted male pig that's won a bunch out of that litter. There's this gilt, and maybe another gilt, and then Optic. And I feel like I'm always searching as a breeder for consistency within a litter. I feel like that breeds on and is incredibly heritable, and this gilt definitely has that. And just she herself has got such a great kind of skull. Probably not the longest, but that is the right length to me, and the right kind of stoutness when she comes at you. I love that skull dimension, the look she has, and the height of shoulder up front, but she does that with great swoop to her rib and her body, a tremendously stout hip and rear leg to her, and I feel like she looks like a lady. She looks like you can take her home and get her bred, and she'll lay down and have pigs for you and do a lot of things very, very well.
That's definitely a front pasture kind of a sow. And I tell you what, Brock, think about what that one's going to look like after she's had about 3 litters. And that so many times I don't think is thought about. But look at these things and look at the investment that you're going to make and understand the longevity that lies ahead. That Optic deal, I promise you're going to hear a whole lot about that one. That board there, it's at Hofschulte right now. Here's your opportunity to tap into his littermate sister. I absolutely love this one in terms of her build, her silhouette, and squareness. I said it. I'm going to say it. I'm going to continue to say it. This set of blue ones and light crosses that we're offering this year will be heard from in the days ahead. This one right here, I'd say, could be right up there towards the top.
This is lot 83 from J.C. Wilson. She's a Snooze Emotional Damage from K&M Show Pigs.
Well, we talk about those that were memorable, and we do so with this one right here for me there in the show. And I don't want to think that it's just because of her wavy hair and her thick hair, but I think that is a huge, huge compliment that you can get that in a white one that is that comes in this pattern. But study this one here just in terms of forearm shape, her bone density, her cleanliness of joints, her length ahead of her blade. This thing is powerful in all aspects, whether she's coming right at you or she's going away. This is one that's definitely a short lister for me in this white deal. I thought this one here had some very, very unique parts and pieces. This is the kind that, again, we've said it about 8 times, probably going to say it a few more times. This will be one that are not only memorable at this year's event, but this one could be memorable when we talk about her in the events ahead. I think this thing right here is very, very good. If I'm looking for a white crossbred to make white ones or make even better belted ones, I'd have this one on the list.
This is lot 84 from Gabby Marsh. This gilt is a smokescreen last dance from Ham Livestock. And the other day during the show, I remember seeing this gilt, and I liked her a great deal. But as I was walking in, she was at the wash rack, and I saw her back there. And I definitely like this gilt even more now, especially as I get closer to her. If you're unfamiliar with the smokescreen or haven't seen many of those pigs, I had some myself. Those pigs are very, very good. You get white consistently. You get this type of look really consistently. They got a tremendous hip and hind leg. I feel like this gilt just really represents that boar very, very well, and kind of represents what Ham does as well. Makes really good white ones at a high level over and over. This is tag 85 from Piper Wilson. This gilt is a relentless Say It from Goss Livestock. This is a gilt that's really been successful throughout the year, both at Coba and many of the jackpots that we've seen, and it's pretty obvious that you can see the quality in this gilt, really regardless of which angle that you find. That deep blue is so memorable and striking for me, but also this gilt's just stoutness to her skull, and her forearm is really, really good. Really heavy skeleton, really heavy duty. This looks like a gilt with a lot of potential, both as a sow, but one that needs to really continue to show for a while to me. I'm not sure what size she is, but just based on her maturity and all those things, she's got a lot of life left as a show gilt, but when she is done, she will without a doubt make an impact as a sow.
You know, Brock, we talk about those that are memorable, and just a few years ago, about I think it's been 2 years now, possibly 3, that set of blues that Goss had here then, and what they've done. Think about what they've done since they left here, and they had a lot of the same look and design as what this one does, and rightfully so. When you go home and you put them right back to work the way that these did, this one here being sired by Relentless, I think just adds even that much more predictability and consistency to the whole thing. They look like they have the same color. They look like they have the same build. They look like they're the same kind. This thing here, right here, I wouldn't be afraid to lay this one in. Just as you said, as a show gilt. For me, more importantly, I look at it as what she can do for you as a sow.
One additional note, Todd, that I forgot. This is a littermate to Silverback at Premium Blend. This is lot 86 from Fletcher Inman. She's a Pathfinder heavy hitter from Atkins Livestock.
Yeah, here's a bold, stout one that you really like. The bill, this one, really one that's stout about her skull. Love this one here in terms of feet and legs and toe placement. She's just enormous when you get up over the top of her. I remember there in class when she come across the ring. I mean, you look down the top of this one, way she opens out of her blade and up through her hip, really square her feet and legs and at the ground. This gilt here, I think, is one that you make this one to whatever boar you want to. You want to make belted ones better, or you want to make white ones that are unique with parts and pieces. I'd say this one can get you right on down the road.
This is lot 87 from Colt Pritchard. She's an altogether snake farm raised by Ritchie Livestock.
Well, obviously the Ritchie firm doesn't need any introduction to the Poland breed and what they've been able to do, and reason being is because they make them like this: bold, wide, stout, round rib, having muscle, wide coming, wide going, stout skulled. You got show barrows, you got Poland barrows that look like this, that walk up the hill. They're quick to go to the scale, and if you're looking to add a Poland female to your herd, or need to improve what you have, or get into the business, this is a good one to dip your toe in with. Comes from a firm that's arguably as competitive in that breed as anything. I think a very good Poland gilt.
This is lot 88 from Olivia Guthrie. This gilt is an all-together head start raised by Todd Show Pigs. This gilt is a full sib to the Reserve Supreme at Tulsa from last year, and the mom is a mate to the Reserve Supreme at Tulsa the year before. We've done a lot of these gilt shows here, and year after year, whether it's here or Tulsa, and seems like time after time, these Polands from Gary Todd and Company continue to pop up. And if you're looking through your computer screen, you're here today, and you look at this gilt, it's pretty easy to see why. She's got the things that we need in modern-day show pig production. She's got the expensive hair, the expensive bone, and the freaky kind of look from the side. If I was in the Poland business, I would be owning this one. She is unequaled in terms of stoutness feature. She's got a crazy look and can move with a great pedigree to go along with it.
Well, Brock, I can sum it up for you real quick for me. I was sitting up there on stage, and this one made me drop my cookie. And I'm going to tell you, that was a mouthful. That thing there is as stout as you can see and you can make in this breed. I love her comfort level. I don't know what brood sows need to look like. I don't have any Polands. I ain't going to get any Polands. But if I had them, that's what I would want them to look like. I think that is a tremendous individual right there. If you want to play in this breed and do it at a high level, I would start one with look like that, because I promise you there's not many opportunities to own one that looks like that.
This is lot 89 from Madeline Parker. This gilt is a zesty on a reptile house raised by Correa Show Pigs.
Yeah, our power, width, dimension, bone, big feet, stout, all of those things can be categorized when you talk this particular Poland female. And, man, I tell you what, it starts right there with a great big old mug, big chest, opens up extremely good in the center portion of her body. Just looks like a good foundation type Poland female. If you want to get in the breed or you want to make what you have at home better, this one right here, she could definitely be on a list to do that. I think there's some boars out there that have some real unique pieces within this breed. I promise you, this one here, she'll complement them. And this is one I think has great breeding attributes. Looks like a real breeding piece for the Poland breed.
You know, Todd, I missed the Poland show the other day, and this is my first time going through them, obviously. But I think we can just throw whatever happened at the show out and just judge them, because this is a really high-end Poland female. She's got width, she's got look, she's really, really sound. I think her pedigree is good as well. I think this one's super high-end, could definitely make things better next generation. This is lot 90 from Paisley Hammer. This is an altogether sorry not sorry from KPO Livestock.
Yeah, that altogether boar, he had him quite a run there this time at the Oklahoma Youth Expo, and you can see why as we round out the Poland offering this time, and we're still able to bring them and run them at you that are this bold and wide with that kind of center dimension and body and open up the way they do. This screams quality. That breed and all the way through, top to bottom, was very, very good, and I think this one right here just continues to equal the value in terms of what they possess. This thing is very, very good all the way through. You love her center body, you love her power, you love her dimension. This one is very, very square on her feet and legs. I think this is an extremely good Poland female.
This is lot 91, shown by Macy Peacock. She's an everyday hustle, in-game hero raised by Pell Livestock. Just a minute ago, I was standing in the back as this one came walking by to go to the wash rack, I believe, and it's really unfortunate we don't have an aerial view to show the people at home how much genuine dimension that this gilt has to her forearm, center body, and down her top line. It was really striking to me as I saw her a minute ago how thick and dimensional she is in that regard. And as I sit right here, I see the motion to her rear leg, and I'm even more impressed by that. This gilt's also got some gnarly hair to her, and as you read her pedigree, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I tell you what, sitting up there in the skybox or whatever you want to call it, you get to see down on top of them. And I remember this one there the other day, enormous, absolutely enormous, the way she opens out of her blade. All I'm going to tell you is this is the kind right here that will make one. I don't know what that one's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be a champion Barra somewhere. I don't know if it's going to be a next herd boar that sticks out around the industry. That one right there has major generating potential about her. Study her hair, study her head, study her skull. Yeah, the hair is just an added value in my mind.
One last thing, Todd. How many times do we sit here and kind of get to the last page at OYE and think back next year at the peak sales and think, that was the gilt we should have bought down the line that's a real generator? This one has those pieces to me, tag 91. This is lot 92, shown by Vivian Humphreys. She's an It's Time Past the Hat, raised by TKO Genetics.
Yeah, anytime TKO's involved there, you know they're going to be stout, they're going to be square, they're going to have big tails, and they're going to be moderate, and you're going to obviously have great shape. And I think all of that basically correlates with this particular female. You love the extension she has from her neck ahead of her blade. I think this thing here just exemplifies not only the pedigree, but the breeder itself behind it. You take this gilt, again, another one that you have lots of versatility around the country to breed to, but when they're that stout about their skull and their head, they got a great big tail root, they put their feet and legs down that square, you can do so many things with them.
This is lot 93, shown by Gage Montgomery. She's a buckle-up in-game raised by Schulte Farms. And you know, Todd, we sit here year after year and we see these things come through, and as I mentioned earlier, there is a pattern to this, and it seems like when Schulte Farms comes in here and somebody like Gage Montgomery is showing them, you know they're going to be really, really good, and they're going to look something like this. That gilt skull dimension and shape and look up top relative to the dimension she has to her forearm, rear leg, and center body is just pretty radical to me, and I feel like this one definitely has to have a pretty dynamic sow line behind her. Obviously, in-game has done such an incredible job and is one of those boars that's going to be absolutely timeless and talked about for years in years to come, and I think this gilt is a testament to that, and one that you can look at and just view her rear leg and that kind of flexibility and realize that she was raised with a purpose and bred with a purpose. Once again here, lot 93.
Yeah, ditto everything you said right there, except I want to add one more comment. I like the fact that you said that she comes in, you look at the boldness, squareness, and the head shape she has, and then you say she's sired by Buckle Up. That boar continues to still produce them that makes them that have unique parts and pieces, and I think when you read this one, she's going to be the one that's going to be that sow that could come out of this year's sale that you say, hey, I remember her. That was that very, very unique Buckle Up daughter that sold in. I love the fact that we're still seeing some of these females that's out of some of these boars that have generated time and time again. She looks just like the first crop of those did. He's still making them, stamping them. Then you find females like this. That tells me there's longevity right there.
This is lot 94, shown by Brigham Bunt. She's a Rampage Messiah, never before, raised by Boble Farms.
Yeah, here's another good young gilt comes in, and we keep talking about those that I think still have some show career left about them, and I mean that's the first thing that you can see about this one. And then study the gilt for herself. as a sow. Coming from the Bowell firm, I mean, I tell you what, nobody in the country that's concentrate on building a set of females like Ben and his crew there has. Knowing the longevity and the lineage behind all of this one, I think makes this one extra special. Sired by the Rampage boar, study the skull shape, just the look that this one gives you. I tell you what, there are so many boars that can complement a litter sired by a female that looks like this. It don't matter what boar stud you use. It don't matter what boar that you want to buy in the country. If you don't breed them to sows that have good feet and legs, good toes, stout, square, and flexible in their spine, you're not going to get where you want to be. This one will get you there. Use the best boar you can find a breeder to.
This is lot 95, shown by Boone Mosteller. She's a hardball, quite frankly, raised by Team Sloan. She was lot 1 at Top Shelf this last summer, and her mother is a litter mate to the mother of Culture Shock from Team Sloan there. I feel like this is a really neat pedigree, and as you look to this gilt, this is one that I highlighted from the show the other day when she came through the ring. That kind of skull shape and just lack of neck that's tied so high really spoke to me. She's got such a quality to her, and to be honest with you, I think today she might be a touch better than she was the other day. I feel like that kind of rib shape and swoop to her belly is maybe what she was missing during the show, but she's here. I feel like she's settled in a notch better, because if we re-showed them right now, she would not be the 36th overall dark crossbred. She'd be much higher. This one is a tremendously neat one here. What do you think, Todd?
No doubt. This is certainly one of my favorites on my star list, and all of you that send the message and say, hey, I need a short list, I can just tell you whatever this one's lot number is, just put it on there, because this is one of my favorites that went through the ring. I don't care what you want to make. If you want to make boars, you want to make build you a herd of females. When they come at you and they look like that in terms of their skull, their forearm, their chest width, and their power, the rest of that stuff all falls together and in check. I think this is a very, very elite belted crossbred gilt here. You got lots and lots of things to do right there, lots of opportunities. There's boars around America that's going to make this one even a notch better. I don't know exactly what it is that this one needs. I'm just going to tell you, if you want to play the game at a high level, have you a few stars by this one.
This is lot 96, shown by Ryder Prince. This gilt is a Pitmaster Fresh Prince, raised by Prince Show Pigs. So clearly, lots of royalty here, really heavy-duty, stout forearmed kind of gilt. I love her length of body and her athleticism. That is one of the biggest rear legs that we will find here in the Chester breed. Really muscular up top, and I think just exudes pretty traditional kind of Chester look from the side with a great hip and rear leg, and does a lot of things really, really well. I like her pedigree a great deal. Congratulations to the Prince folks for raising and showing a really nice Chester gilt. This is lot 97 from Kaylin Jarbo. This gilt is an all-inclusive big screen raised by Kaylin Jarbo.
Yeah, the Jarbo family, obviously known for multiple years of raising quality livestock and do so in multiple breeds. But at the same time, the pattern never changes. They're always going to be moderate. They're going to be stout. They're going to be opened up. They're going to be wide. They're going to have muscle. And I think you can see all of those things about this particular female. This thing opens enormously out of the top side of her skeleton, but she does so because of how wide and square she is in the floor of her chest. Her roundness of rib is absolutely impeccable. She's long and square about her hip. I love her as she goes away from you. She comes at you. I think a Chester female that offers a great deal of attributes can move the breed forward. She'll make you Chester Bears that'll be competitive. If you're not relevant, you can be relevant with ones that look like this.
This is lot 98 from Adley Castor. This gilt is a Fix-em-up Delta raised by Adley Castor.
Yeah, the fifth gilt we're offering there in the Chester breed this time to to round out the offering, I think is one that's really, really cool to look at. Standing ringside there at the show the other day, there was several compliments in terms of the Chester breed and the differentials of what they offered, and the ones that were selected for the sale. And you can see, so particularly when you have one on here like this that's that heavy structured, still that proportioned the way she does, her height to shoulder, her length of body is right, the amount of muscle that she has, but still maintains such great comfort level. This thing just strolls across those shavings like it ain't nothing. She stays loose about her spine. But I think above all, and particularly in that breed, to find them that's that neat and trim and clean about their top side of their pole, all in a powerful package, that's not the easiest thing to do. I think this gilt here has got great breeding quality.
This is lot 99, shown by J.D. Joe Garrett. This gilt is a perfect world, tricked out, raised by Polish. This is the second Polish gilt that's came through the ring today, and I really appreciate the chance to sit here and look through these gilts and read their pedigrees and things. And the thing that I've noticed over the years is there are trends, and whenever you see some of these gilts raised by the same breeder, you get a feel for what they like and the things that they emphasize at their ranch and the things that they're drawn to. And I think it's really clear after seeing the second gilt here that came from Polish. He is drawn to good built, heavy structured, loose made ones with awesome kind of head shape and muscularity up top. And I think this gilt does all of those things as good as anything that we have seen. And I really appreciate the fact that she's kind of crazy colored like this, but no one's really ever said any of that. No one mentioned that during the show because her hip reads long, her neck reads really, really good, and she has got such a dimensional, flexible rear leg. And with that kind of pedigree, I feel like this is one that could be highly sought after. Another one to me that could continue to show for quite a while, or she could go in the sow pen immediately. There's definitely a lot of flexibility with this gilt. This is tag 100 coming in next. Miley Coleman. She's a nightcap wide awake on Wham's sister, raised by Ham Livestock.
Yeah, here's one again. You study one here and talk about those that have generating parts and pieces. Study this one here, standpoint of her skull, her forearm, the bone that she has. You love this gilt just in terms of her build, and then look at her generating ability and her lineage of how she's put together. You got to love this. I love the fact, Brock, that you said that she's got a shot of white there in her pedigree. And as we look at this year's OYE, and we're going to talk about that set of white females that's in there in this year's sale, that's what it takes. We have to have these things that are good belted ones, that are good belted females. We've got to incorporate white into them. Anytime they have white in them, they're going to be better. That's the reason this one right here offers all the qualities that she does, and it's such a loose, functional package.
This is lot 101, shown by Davis Morris. She's a daddy's back, money's on fortune, raised by Clay Farms. I got to see this gilt partway through the season this time at a jackpot show, and I believe she won that show, and I left there thinking this gilt was just so incredible. And you can see why now. That kind of skeleton, that kind of bone, that kind of length of body all assembled together is definitely a rare find, and I just appreciate that so much now like I did then. But also this gilt's got super width to her chest, really genuine in terms of her center body and her muscularity, and I think coming from a place like Mike Clay's should add some value here. He breeds those things to generate. He breeds those things to be honest and true, and I think that's what this gilt is. Next up is lot 102, shown by Riley Howell. This gilt is a tricked out 4, Good Magic, raised by Heron Genetics.
Yeah, pedigree alone on this one has extra added value when you study the what this one has to offer, and then when the gilt hits the ring, it all makes sense because you just study this one here again. Moderate in terms of her build, tall in her blade, really good in terms of her top line. Her length of hip and squareness with that amount of power is extra good. I love this one here. When she comes right at you, where Brock and I set, we get to see every angle of these things. And, man, this thing opens extremely, extremely good in her chest. You love the look and the balance. I don't know if many of you out there care. We'll go ahead and point it out. If it matters to many of you, it don't seem like that it does much anymore. But if you want to know what a very, very good-looking, pretty underline should look like on a crossbred female, you can take a picture of this one right here. This one here looks like a female that can be in a herd for a long, long time. When they're built like this right here, they're going to generate, they're going to make pigs better, they're going to make a breeder money.
This is lot 103, shown by Bella Gilchrist. This is a dog-eat-dog, wide-awake, raised by Decker Show Pigs.
Yeah, Decker, obviously synonymous for the success here at the Oklahoma Youth Expo, and you can see why when they're built like this from the ground up. Study this one here just in terms of her width and proportionality. It starts at the ground, and she's powerful about her blade. Her forearm lays in her so proper. She's got extra extension ahead of her head and neck, and still really, really good in terms of her top line. Square about herself when she goes away. Keeps her feet and toes all in check. Very, very good one here. Great big tail. Has a generating head about her. You got to love those parts and pieces.
This is lot 104 from Bentley Mitchell. This gilt is a Shifting Gears Rumble Lady, raised by Adeline Webster.
Yeah, I think of the Hereford show and the Hereford lineup there this time. If you just want to go for straight power and dimension, this gilt right here definitely is one that I think can add extra value in that regard. This one here has some outlining pieces, I think, for that particular breed. She opens extremely wide in the floor of her chest, up in the upper portion of her blade, center body, tremendously wide and thick when you get behind her. She maintains a good looseness of skeleton and looseness of spine. This Hereford deal, it has just continued to progress, and they become higher and higher quality year in and year out. And I would tell you that this year's offering probably has as much versatility to it at a high quality level as any. And with that being said, I think that one right there can add a great deal of power to your herd if that's what you're looking for.
This is lot 105 from Kylie Imhoff. This is a Here Kitty Kitty Hidden Faith from LJ Show Pigs. And for all you pedigree folks here in the Hereford business, I think you better gather around for this one. This one's mom raised patent pending, the $52,000 record-selling boar that stands at PBG, and the grandma here raised the record seller here at OYE that brought $19,000 a few years ago.
Well, I'll never be able to replicate the description of this one like LJ probably would, and I'm not even going to try, but I hope on screen you can see this is one that is extremely tall about her shoulder, level and correct in her line. She's long hip, very, very ladylike, built the way that you want them to. I don't care what breed they are. She comes square. She leaves you square. She opens good at its upper side of her blade. Her silhouette from the side is near ideal. You love her in terms of her depth of flank and looseness and flexibility that this one puts together. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I know a whole lot about the Hereford breed. I do know that the genetics in this one has been extremely, extremely good and powerful. You can see why when they're built like this. I like that Hereford gilt a great deal.
This is lot 106 from Baylor Cassinger. She is a shot caller soldier boy from G3 Genetics.
Yeah, we get into rounding out, I guess, not get into round out our Hereford division, and again, we get into a breed here that has come on the scene here at the Oklahoma Youth Expo a few years ago, and we've seen continuous progress year after year in terms of quality, and in doing so, you can still see and read it here in this particular gilt with the skeleton, with the base, sound, loose skeleton, having power and muscle. You make Hereford Barras, Hereford gilts that have that kind of dimensional width, you're going to stay in the game at whatever level that you want to play, I would say. Love this one here just in terms of overall flexibility. I would think that would have to be one that would be on your list if you want to play the Hereford game and do so at a high level.
I did forget to mention there, the mother of that gilt was the champion here last year. This is lot 107, shown by McKenna Oliver. She's a woke, quite frankly, raised by Decker.
This gilt here comes in, and a woke gilt, that's enough said. Then you say Decker, that's probably enough said. And then you study this one just in terms of her build, the silhouette, the uniqueness that this gilt here offers you from her blade forward. I don't know that we see a gilt in the lineup this year at the expo that offers what this one does. I love this one in terms of the way that she plants her feet, her toes. She goes across these shavings here. I think we always look at gilts that ought to win shows. We look at gilts that have breeding potential and value. This one has extra parts, big pieces, great value. Brock, you have anything to add?
Absolutely. This looks like a show winner in another 60, 70 days to me. You can tell she's younger. She's more mature. I believe she won the second class, but she just exudes such quality to me. But it's clear she's not there maturity-wise yet. You have to appreciate so many things about her, as you mentioned. But I think if there is one that's came through that really strikes me as one that needs to continue to show, this is definitely one of those. A really nice gilt here. She's sired by Woke. This is lot 108, shown by Cash Seawright. She's an 8 seconds say it, raised by First Take Genetics.
Yeah, here comes a belted gilt here, and again, you just study one in terms of her build, the squareness, both the way she comes at you and she goes away. She opens tremendously good about her blade. She's got an enormous amount of shape and muscle down her top. I think this one here, not only from a sow power standpoint and perspective, but those of you that are wanting to still hit the show ring, she may have a few days left of her life in that regard. But whatever it is, when they're built like this, you can do so many things with. I think a sow that has great generating potential just from a standpoint of her extra width, the bigness of parts and muscle that she has.
This is lot 109, shown by Chloe Kemp. She's a woke, last dance, no intro, raised by Trogdon.
Yeah, this is another one. Chloe had an outstanding week there in the gilt show, and she come in with those every time that actually you had to take a second and third look at, and this one definitely fits that same build. And I tell you what, there's times we sit through these shows and these events, and we see the ones that win and that are champions, and obviously we talk them that way, and then we see some that hit you. It says, man, that thing's a breeding piece. And I think you can tell on both ends of this one's skeleton, from her head to her tail, she reads breeding piece. And then you study her from a standpoint of her moderation, her roundness and boldness that she has to her rib, enormous back shape. I love this one in terms of her ability to generate. She reads generation right in terms of her face, but it's her big tail that does it for me. I love the length and squareness she has about her hip. She comes from the Trogdon firm. I don't think anything else has to be said.
This is lot 110, shown by Caitlin Waggle. This gilt is a one-way on a modern day, quite frankly, raised by CNC show pigs. The mother of this particular gilt would be out of the same sow line as Far and Wide and Everyday Hustle. So I think this is definitely one of the premier sow lines at CNC. Once again, one-way, modern day, quite frankly.
Yeah, Brock, this one here comes from our good buddies over there in eastern Oklahoma, and man, I tell you what, that whole deal, that CNC's got going on, the Far and Wide, and over and over, you just hear more and more about it. And when you study them that look like this, that's why. I mean, when they're built like this, in terms of practicality of proportions and put together this way, I mean, this thing has got as round but still yet a cleaner rib as any of the gilts that maybe we've looked at to this point. Really good about the stoutness and cleanness that she has still yet front of her blade. I love this one in terms of the amount of muscle that she has. It lays in her so correct in terms of her length of hip, the depth she has to her stifle. She stays square about her feet and legs. Again, those of you that are looking to take one home and breed and make good show pigs, that one there certainly could be on your list.
This is lot 111, shown by Lexi Varnell. She's a Kong Good Magic, shown by Mullet Genetics. The mother of this particular gilt would be a littermate to the boar he had there. He called Good Magic, and that whole line, which is an incredibly good litter of pigs at Mullets, and it's really what he's building his sow line around. So really an interesting pedigree. Once again, Kong Good Magic, raised by Mullet.
At every one of these events that we do, we always have people that says, hey, is there a female that you can buy in there and build around and make a foundation sow? And anytime they say the word John Mullet in a sentence, you can always attest to the fact that there is a lineage of great females behind this one. And this looks like a sow. I don't care where you go in the country, when you walk up to somebody's pen and they walk one out there to you, this is one of the ones that you want them to look like. This one here is going to be a tall-shouldered one that's going to have an enormous amount of shape and muscle about her. She's always going to be bold. She's always going to be wide. She's always going to have muscle. She's always going to be that wide-skulled. I promise you, she is put on this earth, and the lineage that she's put on this earth to be a powerful, powerful female that's going to be a great generator anytime. Again, like I said, when Mullet's in the pedigree and they look like this, you just buckle down and buy one and take it home. It don't matter what boar you breed them to, you're going to have you something at the end of the day. I think you got a real special opportunity with that one.
This is lot 112 from Anna Pogue. This gilt is a Spartan Titan from Plett Livestock.
Well, often we talk about gilts in the sale that has unique parts and pieces, and I will tell you this: the spotted breed, obviously the gilts here on the top end of those here at the sale was absolutely elite. But if you want one that lives on the edge, that's out there, that has some outlining pieces and outlier pieces, if you will, I think this is one you need to tune into. I remember her the other day there in the show and in class, and I know I don't know what she needs to be bred to. Don't know what color you want to breed her. If you want to breed her black, you want to breed her white. I just know that if she makes a barrow that looks the way that she does, I think he could be competitive at a very, very high level. This thing has tremendous bone work. Her feet are all really good. Everything goes far forward. This is as bold and wide and square-chested as any spotted female that went into the ring there the other day. She has enormous back shape on top of all of it. I think a real breeding piece right here in this particular female.
This is lot 113 from Rachel Doyles. She's an Incognito Sin City from Greg and Joni Hartman.
Yeah, this one here, I remember this gilt here in class, and she handled that class that she come out of, and man, I tell you what, you have to admire one in terms of true skeletal width and boldness. This one puts it all together. She's as round in the center part of her body and rib as anything that was in that particular breed. Dimensional about her top, really tons and tons of spread up high, really thick and powerful from behind. With all of that mass and power we talk about, Brock, though, I think you really have to step back where we're at and you analyze her, the comfort level she has about her feet and legs, as square as she stays about her toes. She comes and goes with tremendous base width and skeleton. I think that one's one that can go home, go to work for somebody and make better spotted females, or she can make a show bearer that could be hard to contend with. I love this one in terms of her stoutness of skull, boldness, width, and the amount of muscle and power she has.
This is lot 114 from Liddy Novak. She's a Titan Spartan bred by Brent Jennings.
Well, we get every year at the Oklahoma Youth Expo. It's remarkable to see the set of pures in all of the breeds that come through, and what a way to wind out this year's offering here on the spots. And I think we do so in remarkable fashion. And this gilt here, not only pedigreed alone and knowing that it has Jennings up and down it and all the success that he has, I think you can study one here that I know many people sitting ringside flaunted to real easy and found in quality. And, man, it's easy to do that when they're built like this. She's tall about her blade. She's got the right moderation. Her length of hips extremely good. Comes and goes tremendously wide. Looks like the kind that I think has some generating potential and power about her. Love that one in terms of the squareness to her feet and legs. And I just think one that's extremely, extremely high quality to round out your spotted division.
This is lot 115 from Graceland Buckmaster. This is an Awakening No Intro from Day Family Show Pigs.
I tell you what, this one here is striking, and again, we talk about those when you set off to the side of the ring and you look at them and you're always like, hey, what is that one? And they said Awakening on this one, and I tell you what, that's been a boar that I think has been on the radar for me to watch because of the unique parts and pieces. And I think if you study this one, you can see that. Her extra extension ahead of her blade, but yet natural head carriage, the shape that she has, I really, really like some parts and pieces about it. She comes at you bold and wide and stout through her front end, puts her feet and legs down very, very sound. I guess, though, that one thing that I think has to be said is study this one in terms of how ladylike she looks. I like the white in her pedigree. I like the look that she possesses. That also reads longevity to me. I think this is a sow that you can buy, lay in. You're going to have her for quite some time when they're built like this.
This is lot 116, shown by Lucas Woods. She's a Little Wayne State of the Union from Milner Livestock.
Yeah, Brock, we went through these. This is we're actually rounding out our white division this time, and I tell you what, as those of you that were spectators this year's show, I think you have to agree. Our white division or light division or whatever you want to call it has grown not only in numbers but has exceeded all potential, I think, in terms of quality. When you analyze all 17 of these females that we're offering this year, I think there is a great, great deal of breeding value. And this one here, I think, is one that you can see it in her. Her height to shoulder, her elevation, the extension she has, enormous back shape. I love her bone, just like so many of them that we offered this time. You love the bone. You like the security of feet and legs about it. I think a very, very good blue female. Do a lot of things, breed to many boars across the country. This thing here is only going to make white ones and blue ones better.
This is lot 117, shown by Maverick Mosteller. This gilt is a high heat power play raised by Moyer Genetic Edge.
Yeah, I tell you what, the Mosteller family come in with a vengeance this time on the Crossbred show, and they brought some unique parts and pieces, and I think this one here, she does a lot. I'll be anxious to see what others have to say, and particularly your comments, Brock. But when we talk about breeding pieces and ones that that'll be memorable, from this year's show, this is one for me. In terms of moderation, her boldness, the squareness that this one has, she has all of the stout features of everything that about her. It starts with her nose, it goes to her head. Look how wide-eyed she is. Her ears set apart about her. Opens extremely good about her blade. I love her pin width, the big tail. You put the Moyer name on that and the stamp on this one, and I mean, this reads them all over. There is generations of power packed into this one. I think this is a big time sow. Don't be surprised if you don't remember this one as being the mother of a herd boar that's sold one day somewhere, or a bear that wins a very big show. This one has all the parts and pieces.
This one does have some wild features, Todd. I'm not sure we have seen one so far with a bigger rear leg relative to a cuter neck than this gilt, and I think that's something that we really try to do in the show pig business, or I try to do. My customers are looking for that, and I feel like your customers will be as well. Then also, this gilt is a high heat, and I think that adds a lot of value to this gilt. That's one of those boars every time that I'm at Moyer's I feel like I need to use. He looks incredible every time I'm there, and I feel like as those older boars continue to look good like that, there's something to that. And I feel like a boar like High Heat is one that will go down as a female maker, and I think this gilt is further evidence of that. This is lot 118, shown by Mason Morris. This gilt is an all-access Say It, raised by Colson Show Pigs.
Yeah, Show Pig Deluxe right here, and this is the kind I think has a little life in her for those of you that still wanting to go on down the road. And if you're looking at this one strictly from a sow standpoint, man, you got you one that you can do a lot of things with. In terms of silhouette, her build, she obviously gives you an awesome look ahead of her blade. She really clean and neat about her pole, and then opens up big about her back. You love this one in terms of the squareness to her hip, down to her hock. Handles her feet and legs very, very good. Extremely flexible. Great toe placement. Just a good female you can do a lot of things with. Lots of boars around the country you can breed this one too.
This is lot 119, shown by Autry McConnell. She's a hang-tight absolute raised by Miller Time Genetics.
Yeah, here comes one here. Sired by the hang-tight boar. That boar's been on quite a roll here of late. We've heard that name pop up several times, and you can see why. Again, just stoutness, squareness, boldness. You love the feet and leg and squareness, and that this one has. Again, I love her skull shape, one that has a great shape about her top. Still looks and reads a little immature for this size of her maturity pattern. I think that's a good thing when we're looking at sows that have longevity and that you can breed on. I think this one puts a lot of good quality pieces together. I love that great big root and tail head she's got.
This is lot 120 from Journey Danner. This gilt is a Waymaker. Here's the deal from TKO Genetics. Obviously, a really competitive gilt up here at the Oklahoma Youth Expo. She was the reserve grand purebred gilt at COBA. And this is one of those gilts I definitely will remember throughout this year and for a long time to come. It's really not often gilts that are Durocs in particular have that kind of bone with that kind of flexibility. That gilt's hip and rear leg is absolutely tremendous. She stayed really good in terms of her neck and her freshness she has from her shoulder forward. This is a very powerful kind of Duroc gilt that's really positioned both pedigree and visually to make a real impact.
Yeah, I think this is one that can carry the memorable card because not only was she a memorable here, I think she was equally as memorable when we sat on the stage and watched her there at Coba. And the reason that she is so good and maintained that is because of the flexibility that she has with that kind of mass and power. She is so heavy boned and heavy structured, but still yet so clean about her joints. And I think oftentimes that's so hard to do. I think true breeding fashion. This is a true power hog, a breeding hog that can certainly be heard from in the days and years ahead when you see progeny out of one that looks like this.
This is lot 121 from River Ratchford. This gilt is a No More Tears on Danica, bred by Juiceburn.
Yeah, that Danica has been a staple, obviously, for the Juiceburn herd, and what they've done time and time again has been pretty remarkable in terms of show winners. And when they have that silhouette and look, we hear the term often as big ring show gilt. That's exactly what you see here. This one has all of those attributes. Her height of shoulder, extra elevation, the squareness she has about her back is very, very good. Puts her feet and legs down with a great deal of comfort. I love this one in terms of her skull shape. She reads stout about it. This is a powerful kind of a red sow that looks like she can be around a herd for a long, long time. Several boars in the country you can breed kind like that too anytime they have a tail root that looks like that.
This is lot 122 from Grace Lee Huff. She's a burst. Here we go from Byers Farms.
Yeah, Brock, we've said it a few different times. You've got to buy them when they're made available to you, and this is a circumstance that I would tell you need to for sure, because securing females that come from the buyer's firm is not an easy task, and yet when you study this one in terms of her quality, you can see why, because there's generations of sow power built here. Sired by the burst boar. I mean, this thing is opened up. She's stout. She's wide. Her moderation reads right. This thing has a great skull about her. Her length to hip. Squareness is very, very good. Got to love her toe placement. I tell you what, if you need to add a red female to a herd, or if you think you want to dip your toe in and get in, this right here would be a good one to certainly start with.
This is lot 123 from Cason Cordova. This gilt is an ATM on an influencer bred by Cordova Show Pigs. The mother of this gilt was the champion at the Arizona National in 2024. Maybe the first or second litter that she's had. This is the 11th out gilt. And when you get this gilt in here, the thing that I can tell you is she really exudes that ATM kind of look to her as you study her from the side. That kind of skull dimension. That boar had a great run, and he had the champion gilt at Iowa, the champion Barra at Tulsa. And this gilt really represents a lot of the things that gilt that line has, along with the extra shape and dimension up top those influencers always have. This gilt as an individual, you can go a lot of different ways with her. If you would like to breed her and make more breeding females and kind of continue that trend, you definitely can. But she, without a doubt, has the muscularity, the moderation, and the chest width and dimension up front that makes bears every single time. I think there's a lot of neat things about this gilt that was the 11th out Duroc. Cold-blooded, tricked out, raised by Polish show pigs. This is lot 124, shown by Annabelle Parker. This gilt is a cold-blooded, tricked out, raised by Polish show pigs.
Yeah, the black gilt there. We was sitting up there on the stage when this one come in the other day, and man, it doesn't take long for you to gravitate to her, and it's more so than just her color. her stock and feet really situates the rest of her. But for me, it's when you stand up over the top of it and look down this one, the way she opens up out of the top side of her blade, she is enormous in terms of her back shape, really big and bold and square about her hip. I love the stoutness, look, and appeal that this one gives you, but all of that comes together in a very relaxed, comfortable package. I know, Brock, a lot of times when you make them this stout and square, you can't keep them that loose-spined, and this one puts it all together.
Lot 125 is coming in the ring next, shown by Tucker Hughes. This gilt is an Alibi Past the Hat raised by TKO Genetics.
Yeah, I remember we've seen several of these alibis this time. I thought was real, had very unique parts and pieces, and I think you could categorize this one in the same manner, just from a standpoint of her build and look. She's got a sow head about her, and I think that's something that's very, very important from a longevity of one. This type of sow that comes out in the lot, that's that wide base, that bold, that opened up, still stays moderate. Man, I tell you what, you can use a lot of boars around the country that can complement this kind in any regard. Anytime that they're built that stout and square, you got something to work with. I think you really got one here.
This is lot 126, shown by Ruger Heron. She's a cold-blooded misconception raised by Brenning Genetics.
Now, this is one that you would expect to see from Shane Brenning, just in terms of power, forearm, boldness. Up front, this thing here is about as stout as any we will talk today. You love this one in terms of her boldness and roundness of rib. She's got great shape about her. Her length of hip is really good. Like this gilt terribly well when you get off to the side. Study one, moderate in terms of her build, tall-shouldered, big square feet. Study her toes, Brock, when she comes right at you.
This gilt is sired by Cold Blooded, as I mentioned earlier. That boar, we lost that one way too soon. When you looked at this gilt, and you can kind of see what you'd relate to the Cold Bloodeds in terms of bone and foot size, as you mentioned, Todd. But pairing that with that kind of look from the side, I think gives that one a tremendous amount of value along with her pedigree. That's a really neat one here in lot 126. Coming in the ring next is lot 127, shown by Neely Pritchard. This gilt is a relentless hero, also raised by Goss Livestock.
Yeah, again, another one of the gilts that comes in from Goss, and just in terms of pattern, silhouette, look, and design, puts it together and just basically built like you would expect them to be there. This thing looks like a show pig all over. She is the size and I would say weight range that, again, if you want to continue to show one, this one certainly fits that bill. She looks like the kind, though, that is going to make not only a great sow here, but one down the road that you're going to walk out to a pen and love. Her build, her height, elevation, I love her skull shape, the look she gives you up front, has her feet and legs, the pedigree, knowing she come from Goss, knowing the depth of that pedigree and the consistency of what that firm's been able to do. We've talked about them day in and day out, year after year. They build them like this. They're all in the sale for a reason.
Lot 128 is going to come next, shown by Lot 128 is coming in the ring next, shown by Duke Barney. This gilt is a money line buckle up raised by Nate Warner.
This gilt here comes in and sounds like so many, and I know my voice in terms is going to sound like a broken record at the end of the day, but it's quite refreshing to get to do that because here's another one that's got the build, boldness, the stoutness, the squareness that those guys look for all day from a judge's perspective. And I tell you what, you really like this one in terms of her silhouette, her height to shoulder, the shape that she has. I love this one just in terms of her overall look. You want to make show gilts, you want to make barras, whatever you want to make. When you have sows like this, the industry offers you lots of boars and lots of options when they're built this way. I really, really like this this particular female right here.
Absolutely. We hear this all the time when you go to these shows and sales, and the judge will say something to the effect of buy the ones that you like. And I really like this one. This was a gilt that wasn't in the front end of things. She's a 53rd overall dark crossbred gilt, but I really don't think that matters. When you look to the gilt and you see this kind of bone, this kind of look, this kind of quality, I feel like it's really selling me pretty hard right here. This is a really impressive gilt, tag 128 or lot 128. This is lot 129 from Kaylin Jarbo. This gilt is an upward top it off raised by Kaylin Jarbo.
Yeah, again, another one of the upward daughters that's in this year's event, and man, it's we could make the recording one time and play it over and over, put a different lot number on it because they're all going to come to you with the moderation, the width, the power, the rib. Center body is identical in all of them. You love this thing in the upper portion of her skeleton. You love her when you view her from behind. Her bones read right. Her floor of her chest reads right. The amount of muscle she has is extremely, extremely good. High quality in terms of her basic build, her fundamental. The looseness of spine, I think, is one thing that makes this one stand out over maybe the contemporary. I like that one a great deal from a barra making standpoint.
This is lot 130 from Brian Holt. This gilt is an upward on a top shelf sow raised by H-Town Livestock.
Yeah, this gilt here comes across, and you know, the first thing you pick up on is Brock talk about upward, and man, I tell you what, there's not a Berkshire boar in the country, I think, on the run that one is, and you can see why when he blows them open as wide as he does, and what this one represents. Upper and lower part of her skeleton, the shape she brings, her rib shape is absolutely enormous. Her length of body and proportionality is perfect. I love her skull shape. I love the power and dimension she has from behind. She keeps it all in check. She's square coming and going. If you want to make Berkshire barras that can win at the highest level, if you want to be in a backdrop picture, this is better be what your sow looks like.
This is lot 131, shown by Brutus Robinson. This gilt is a Dub 13-2 on a top shelf raised by Cody and Austin Cox.
Yeah, as we wind out the discussion of the Berkshires, obviously the Berkshire breed is known every year for quality, and this year certainly no difference. I mean, we've had Berkshires that has won shows. We've had Berkshires sail through the ring that has made pigs that's won shows the following year, and I think you have to analyze and study your lesson up and down the Berkshire offering, and if you're looking for one that is stout as any that we will offer, is opened up, is wide, as powerful at the ground, and come to you in a moderate package, this is one that definitely has to be on your list, because I think this thing right here, not only does she herself just scream quality, she looks like the kind that'll generate one on down the road. I think we got an extra special one here to wind out the Berkshire offering there on Tuesday night.
This is lot 132, shown by Macy Walker. She's a Flip Cup promotion raised by Goss Livestock.
Well, we're going to see several of these gilts come through here from the Goss Livestock firm, and you know, I tell you what, this is what you expect to see, just in terms of stoutness and feature and feet and legs. the boldness that they have. This one right here looks like she's got some life ahead of her. For those of you that still playing the show game, I know many of you have successfully pulled gilts out of this particular event from year to year, and they go on to make themselves out west, or they'll go to the Midwest there for the summer. And I think this one needs to certainly be on that list if you're looking to do that. From a breeding sow standpoint, if you're looking for one to make a boar down the road, this one has the skull, the forearm, the shape, the bones. You got to like that about this one.
The next lot in is lot 133, also shown by Hunter Barron. This is a El Guapo, lot 1, raised by Schley Farms.
Yeah, this one here is an absolute powerhouse from every regard. Again, we talk proportionalities and the kind it takes to make one there at the next generation. And I mean, this one here is really bold in the center of her body. You love her in terms of just her texture of skin, the shape, the boldness, the way she comes out of the upper part of her blade. I tell you what, this one is a very, very unique breeding piece and a breeding animal. I don't want to go too far in depth in a lot of pedigrees, but I will tell you, take advantage of this one. This one's sired by the El Guapo boar. My understanding, there won't be any more of those. We seen him there this last year at Daniel Sly's, and man, I tell you what, not only was that boar impressive, the set of pigs out of him this time I think was very, very well received. You build them like this, you can see why. I don't care what generation you live in. I don't care how you like them. When they're built this way, there's quality.
Lot coming in is lot 134, shown by Steely McNeil. This gilt is a Wild Time Daylight, raised by Day Family Show Pigs.
Yeah, another one here that comes across the shavings, and man, I tell you what, you love in terms of the basic build and look that this one gives you from the side. She's tall about her blade. She opens extremely good down her top line. You would expect this kind of shape and muscle and power in one that looks like this, sired by Wild Time. We've seen so many of those things last year that come through the sale, and then it's real refreshing to see them come back and look as equally as good again this time. You're going to stay in the hog business when you have females and sows to work with that are built this way. I love this one, particularly when you study her from a standpoint of her hip and as square as she puts her hind leg down.
This is going to be lot 135, shown by Hunter Barron from Kingfisher FFA. She's a stranglehold wide awake, bred by HF Genetics.
Yeah, Brock, I think you see this gilt come in. I remembered her there the other day when we was doing the sale order, but one that you just analyzed from a standpoint of moderation and putting it all together in a complete package of just proportionality of width, squareness, shape, awesome in terms of her silhouette and look, just reads stoutness all over. I think when you analyze this, the first thing you see when she comes at you is a big stout mug. She opens good about her chest. She opens up and maintains that width all the way through. Love this gilt here, though, from a standpoint of proportionality, her basic build, and feet and legs and looseness. I think lot 135 is a very, very good potential female that anybody would want to put into a herd.